It is the Mike Calta Show. It's 102.5 The Bone. Good morning, everybody. It is Thursday, November 2nd, 2023, and we are coming to you live. I understand it's a little frask outside.
It is.
I see jackets today.
50 degrees out there.
All right. 50.
50.
Oh, man, I must have a cold-ass turtle outside. I got to put that heater on. Good morning, everybody. We're in the studio. We are coming to you live. We got a good show today, and I got good sleep last night. My wife is really hindering my sleep schedule. After Jeopardy, I was like, well, good night. And she goes, no. And I go, what? And she's like, you're going already? I go, every night. Every night I try to go to bed, and you make me stay here and watch dumb TV shows for another hour. And then she showed me Celebrity Jeopardy was on. I was like, oh, God damn it. So I stayed and I watched Celebrity Jeopardy. I really think my goal is not to get on Jeopardy now. It's to be a bigger celebrity so that I could get on Celebrity Jeopardy.
That makes more sense.
I would crush Celebrity Jeopardy. They are the biggest idiots I've ever seen. Cheryl Underwood was on last night, and she did surprising. She knows more than she thought she did. So she would answer real timidly. She'd be like, is it the Andes? Like she was embarrassed to take a shot at it. And I thought, I feel you. I know what you're saying, but she was pretty intelligent. Dule Hill was on. He did well. And Peter Fasinelli, who I've always hated my entire life because he's just such a moron, he was on and he did terrible too. Like I would have smoked all three of them. So my goal now is to try and be famous so I can be on Celebrity Jeopardy. That's my only way of being successful.
You believe that you're the only thing keeping you from Jeopardy.
I believe that my status in society is keeping me from Jeopardy.
Regular Jeopardy.
Celebrity.
Regular Jeopardy?
You're the only thing that's keeping you from regular Jeopardy.
The opportunity to be on Jeopardy, I have a lot of things going for me. I'm a prime candidate to be a contestant on TV because I bring with me a large audience that'll view it, and they take those things into consideration.
I see a lot of radio DJs on there.
A lot
of talk show hosts.
You see a lot of podcast hosts, and they'll be like, "This guy is an accountant and podcast host. Watch, I pay attention to these things."
All right.
And then they say, they also like the transgender people because they bring in that audience.
You got that going for you?
Yep. Hey, no.
Check 2 boxes.
No. Anyway, so I would think that would be they'd say he's a radio host, a little bit funny. He's got some stories to him, because they want your stories and all that. And then I get up there and I'll do okay. I'll come in second on Jeopardy. That's what I think, unless his third guy's really smart. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So,
by the way, I talked to him. They said if you can run further in Geo, you're on Jeopardy.
Well, that's a done deal. We know that. Geo saw me run.
Yeah. Did we know that? Is that ever going to happen or
Listen to me. Did you see me run when I was chasing the criminals from my home?
The more I thought about it, there was a lot of adrenaline at the moment. Yeah. I was kind of in a little bit of a panic.
Did you run? You had adrenaline?
No.
Did you run?
Also, the whole thing was not a sprint. It's a distance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, I'm going to tell you right now. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I'm not in the best shape of my life right now.
All right.
Maybe I rescind my threat to Geo.
Oh.
That I can listen. Mm-hmm. I've done some running lately, and I realize these old sticks don't move as fast as they used to. So without the threat of crime, I may not be as agile as I used to be.
Yeah.
What if we, I don't know, like 3 miles down there, put Spanish,
3 miles.
Spanish and Pap and have them fighting each other, and you need to stop it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No. I wouldn't care about that.
Oh.
I need to have somebody chasing me or leaving with something from my house and dangling it in front of me. I got it. I got your Pro Jam poster. That would make me angry. So
maybe we do like a turkey trot around the holidays or something.
That's nice.
Oh, I thought we were doing a 5K next year. I'm in for that.
Next
5K
year.
is a turkey trot. Turkey trot is a 5K.
But next year, not now.
Next year's in a month.
Yeah, no. I mean, I know, like maybe we said next summer.
November of next year is what he's talking about. Right?
Full year.
A year from now, after Jeopardy.
Nobody's ever supportive on this show. Everybody just beats you down.
Can I point out, you were talking about going to sleep early, so I was in bed at like 7:30 and put the TV on and then fell asleep like immediately. John Brennan knows what we do for a living, right?
Did you just text you?
I don't
Is
think
he
so.
aware of what is going on?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
9:44 last night.
Oh, my God.
He texted me.
What did he say?
Nothing important. Like nothing that could.
You sure it wasn't
easily,
like, hey, we're thinking about getting rid of Mike.
Hey,
you
you
can
up?
take over the show?
Easily could have been an email that I got this morning, and it's not like a pressure situation or anything like that. 9:44.
I will give you
I'm
this.
going to text him right now.
Yes.
I will give you this. John has been very busy lately. John sent me over a thing yesterday, and asked me to record a couple of 15-second promos.
That's what that was in reference to.
And then he called me a little later. He goes, "Hey, I don't know if you saw, but I sent you over an email." I'm like, "John, I've already recorded him and sent him back to you." That's how efficient I am.
In your face.
In your face, John Brennan.
He was telling
Carmen's
me.
boss.
He was telling me how good of a job I did on him.
Hell yeah.
At night? You have to tell you that at
Yeah,
night?
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Well, the time changes this weekend, so it's going to start getting dark at like 6 o'clock.
Now we're talking.
Now it's really going to be like
Now we're talking.
5:45. Sun's going down.
Yeah.
I love it. I really do. It makes me happier. The nighttime makes me happier. And my wife is the complete opposite. If I leave here and it's gray outside and it looks like it's going to rain, it's my best day ever. And she's like, I think I'm going to stay in bed today.
As the great Adam Sandler once said, the nighttime is the right time.
Oh. Yeah, so anyway, I was scrolling through my Instagram yesterday.
Are you allowed on Instagram or are you blocked?
No, I'm good. I
Oh,
wasn't allowed to go live, but I can now. I'm free. So I was scrolling through Instagram, and I stumbled upon the lovely Cat Stickler. Did anybody see this yesterday?
No.
No.
She made a video, and she said she's doing a thing for charity on Charity Buzz where you can she's going to fly you in from wherever you are, and then you will go to dinner with her and her mother, because she does a lot with her mother in her social media stuff. And I immediately went to Charity Buzz, and there were no bids. And I'm like, because it just started. And I'm like, I'm throwing in the first $500 bid. I'm starting it off. I'm going high, and I want to win this.
Hi.
500.
Well, I mean,
From zero to
it was
five.
at zero, you know what I mean? So,
All right.
but they give you a minimum of what the next bid has to be. What's the opening bid to have dinner with Cat
bid
Stickler?
To have dinner with Big Face Cat and her mom.
Big face.
In all of her makeup glory.
I don't care if she goes with no makeup
They're
on.
flying you in and doing that stuff. I'm going to say the opening bid was $7,500.
Oh no, it was 2,000.
Oh, okay.
But I was going for 500, and I got there and it was like 2,000.
So your bid didn't even take.
I didn't even put it in. I
Oh,
just
wow.
said minimum bid to, and she'll get it. You know what I mean? But I was like, I can't compete with that. I can't even get her to like one of my posts, let alone I can't even get her to follow me. I'm the Scotty the Body.
Well, when she does, whoever does win the dinner, you can just show up and be in the background.
Right, because I'll hunt them down. I'll figure out where it is.
It
And
looks
I'll
like they're in
go,
Hyde Park. Better get there early.
I'll go sit next to them. I'll stare at them. When I'm done, I'll walk over and just put $500 on the table, and I go, that's my portion.
Mike's putting the hide in Hyde Park. Jump out and scare her.
Yesterday, we had Pibble toddler practice, and on the way home, I was listening to Drew and John in the afternoon. Surprisingly, Jacob 2 Times was on, and he was doing a battle of music with JoJo. So I was listening to it, and Jacob 2 Times is still lovable if you hear him like once a month. And he was talking yesterday, and Drew kind of threw this under the, threw like a slider in there that went directly to my ears that I don't think anybody else cared about. Do you know that Miguel and Holly called Jacob 2 Times every day and put him on the air?
Ugh.
You
Of
lack
course they
of
do.
talent, disgusting, feeble-minded morons. I hate them. I actually like Miguel a lot. I really do. I don't hate them I don't hate him as a person. I hate them as a show. Miguel's a really nice guy, but Holly's awful garbage. But they call Jacob 2 Times every day and put him on the air from wherever they are. They're like in North Carolina or something like that. And they do. Isn't that the dumbest thing ever?
Yeah.
Isn't that just the most rehashed,
It's dumb on
Fake.
so many levels.
fake phone call, having War of the Roses, garbage nonsense? Ugh. This girl sent me a thing the other day, and she's like, "Oh my God, do you believe this call?" And she sent it to me, and I'm like, "Yeah, do you know this is fake?"
Do you believe this call? No.
Right. I felt awful telling her because she's in that demo and she didn't know, Oh, so I was talking to Catherine Blanford on the cruise, and she said, I'll tell you what, there's this one thing that this one show does where they call these people and they put them on the spot. And I looked at her and she looked at me and she goes, "What?" And she goes, "Oh my God, don't tell me." And I go, "It's all fake." And she's like, "What do you mean?" And I explained, she was blown away by the fact that radio was so weird. She said, "I heard stories about radio wars where people did this and this." I looked at her and I go, "Honey," I go, "you are talking to the right guy." And she's like, "Well, you've been involved with that?" I'm like, "Involved with that? I've had corporate security live at my house for 6 months one time." And she's like, "Why?" And I go, "Yeah, because people are crazy. And she's like, this is the most unbelievable. Like when you're an outsider and you hear these things, you don't believe this is real life. And when I told her that all those War of the Roses and what's the other thing that they do?
I've never heard their show ever.
No, I don't think that was them. War of the Roses
But
was,
just
might have been
any of
like,
the-
It's like
yeah.
every all the
What's the other one,
Blown
Carmen?
Off.
Blown off.
Yeah.
Blown
But
off.
that's War of the Roses.
It's a different name, yeah.
Yeah.
Blown off. War of the Roses.
Like shows will change the name even though they're doing literally the exact same.
Anytime they
segment.
call somebody and they pick up and they don't that's fake.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but you can't do that. It's illegal to do that.
But I'm just saying, that's the best way to tell somebody what's fake.
No,
and real.
Carmen, you want to know the best way? When you get two people on the phone and they both sound good and have clear phone
Yeah.
connections,
Yeah.
that's fake.
I hate to reveal this, but Joe is actually 25.
Oh my God!
Oh.
No,
And he's
How
like-
is he your dad then? It makes no sense.
You're the new Ned.
Oh,
yeah.
He's a
my
guy who
brain.
just plays Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, all that stuff is just, and look, I get it. Like if there's, I don't know, I could never see me doing that. Now, is there some times where you have to bend the truth a little to make a story more interesting? Yeah, of course, those sort of things happen all the time.
Like running the stop sign.
I gotta tell you, Joe, I'm ready to run. I'm ready to chase you right now. If at the end I get to punch you, I'm ready to chase you right now. Now I know why you guys all hate Gio.
Yeah,
right?
See? Told you.
Total drag.
I don't know. That I just think of that stuff, and I think part of you in your head had to know it was fake. You had to know that wasn't real. People don't want to know, dude. I'm telling you. Did Gio? You grew up here.
Yeah.
Did you know Mr. Leonard
Mr.
from Q105?
No.
Dude, Mr. Leonard was a guy on Z100 in New York that Scott Shannon had when he left here and he went to New York. And Mr. Leonard was like, every day he didn't quite make it into work. And Scott Shannon would be like, all right, let's check in on Mr. Leonard and find out what his excuse is today. And then they go to him and he's like, Mr. Leonard, where are you? And Mr. Leonard would be in the car and he'd be like, oh, Scott, I'm on the Brooklyn Queens Expressway and I have a major problem. And that's how he talked. And he went into it. And we thought when we were kids, and I mean like 10 years old, it was the funniest thing ever. And Mr. Leonard didn't make it into work again. Then we went to Disney World one time and they opened up MGM Studios, the Hollywood Studios. And it was the first day it opened, and we just happened to be here. So my mother was like, all right, we can go. So we bought tickets and we went. And every radio station in the country and television morning show was broadcasting from outside in the park. They just had them set up around the park. And when we heard Scott Shannon was there, we went crazy. We went to go find him. And we were waiting as they were doing a live break. And all of a sudden, Scott Shannon said, Mr. Leonard, are you going to go on the rides? And he's like, oh, Scott. And when I looked over and saw that guy, I mean, I knew he wasn't a real person.
Yeah.
But when I looked over and saw that person, like, oh, Scott Shannon, I'm going to go try to make a mouse ride. I was like, oh, my God, it's Mr. Leonard. I was so excited. And
So you're saying people that believe stuff on the radio are as dumb as a 10-year-old kid?
Yep. As dumb as a sheltered 10-year-old kid from Staten Island,
Yeah.
for sure. But, yeah. I mean, like, there's certain things that you know are fake. Like Mr. Leonard, we knew was fake, but he was funny,
Yeah.
Look at that snow in Vermont. I was talking to a friend of mine who lives in Colorado. She's been completely snowed in since the weekend. She's like, you're on a cruise, and I'm snowed in my house.
Dude, when I went to Vermont last year, it was at spring break. It was awesome. And
I
we
would
got
love
snowed
that.
in for like 2 days. We couldn't leave.
Oh, I would love that. I love that kind of weather, man.
It's
I
awesome
really do.
up there.
To
I
visit.
don't.
Yeah,
well,
to visit. I wouldn't want to live,
Yeah.
but like to go to vacation, it's awesome.
I'd love to be rich in Vermont.
Yeah.
Like, I'd love to have a nice cabin that looks like a cabin from the outside, but is really a concrete building underneath.
Yeah.
And that they have a team of people plow my driveway and stuff. Like Michael Jordan had a heater in his driveway in Chicago,
Right,
so when
yeah.
the snow fell, it never accumulated in his driveway.
Awesome.
That's the kind of life I'd
And
like
you
to
have the
live.
big turntable thing that turns your car out towards
Oh,
the
yeah.
street.
Oh, I never even knew about
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
You've never seen those?
No.
Yeah.
That way you don't have to back in.
Yeah.
No, Galvin. See, people give me a hard time all the time because they think I'm always talking about how rich I am. I am talking about how rich I am. You know how rich I am? I have one of those things that pours water out from behind your oven. That's how rich I am.
Yeah.
I think it costs $60 to put it in, but that's to me is the life of luxury. I don't have one. I don't have anything that flips my car around. I have a driveway that my wife can't pull in because she can't back the car out. That's how we do. Did you see her doorbell?
I think it was a computer notification.
It was. That was me.
Wonder whose it was.
Oh, you scumbag.
The fake guy.
Okay, Mr. Michael.
Do you remember that, Joe?
No.
Oh,
I think I was.
man.
I think I was gone by then.
Yeah, but he was here.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if the
When
people here.
When I started paying attention to radio, it was right around like Screw the Q. So the idea
Yeah,
of like
Q105.
listening to Q105 was like you're a loser.
Yeah, I got in there at the tail end of that Screw the Q thing, and it was one. What a beautiful attack to see something that is so high on the hog and just sitting there, laying there like Q105 was, and Power Pig came in and was like, not so fast, and just put a bunch of holes in it, just sunk it. It was beautiful.
Oh my God.
Oh, hey, Carmen, you don't understand. You think it's bad now? It got so bad in the war between the Power Pig and Q105 that one day I was in the studio with Hawk and Marty, who did afternoons, and there was a hotline call, and Hawk took it, and it was like, hello, and the guy's just yelling and yelling, and Hawk looked at Marty, and Marty looked at everyone, and they were like, whoa, slow it down. What's going on now? And it was one of the guys from Q105. His car had been stolen, and they were accusing the Power Pig guys. And like, hey, buddy, we don't do that kind of stuff. We're not stealing your car. And then I'll never forget, I was an intern, and then when they hung up the phone call, Hawk looks at Marty and goes, did we steal his car? Yeah. It's a strong possibility that we stole his car.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man. Those are fun days. You don't get that anymore.
Yeah, because you get in trouble, like real trouble now. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was fun. Like, they didn't steal anybody's cars, but they would, they would do things. We went through Mason Dixon's garbage a few times, and those are the fun old days where you can't do
Pranks.
that stuff. Pranks.
Yeah, I miss those days.
Oh man.
I'm kind of glad though, because pranks were getting a little too violent and weird
I mean,
when
It's
I was
just
in
a goof,
college.
man.
Yeah, yeah.
Think about the pranks now. A kid just got shot because
Yeah.
he was like pranking a guy at the mall.
By the
Yeah.
way, that's how every prank should end.
Yeah.
I agree.
It is my
Don't
favorite.
prank
I agree.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of stuff is I don't know. I watch some of those prank things on YouTube, or not YouTube, but Netflix. What is it called? Instagram, and they make me laugh. But I wouldn't want to be in that situation.
No way.
Dude, there was, the funny thing about it is a prank is usually supposed to have a payoff where it's funny, but now it's just like dumb stuff that's not funny at all, and
Just
you're like,
annoy people.
Yeah.
exactly. And there was a kid that was over in England who went into the people's house. He goes, we're gonna prank him. We're gonna go in their house, and just went in their house, and the lady's there with their baby, and the guy's there. Try that in Florida.
Oh, yeah.
Try
Yeah.
that in Florida.
Like, that's not a prank. That's
No.
breaking an internet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
There was a guy yesterday I watched, and he went into the Home Depot, and he was pulling he had like a water pump, and he hooks it up to the demo shower, and gets in the thing and turns the water on through the pump and starts taking a shower. and people are walking through the aisle, and he's just like showering.
See, and that's dumb and kind of funny
Well,
or
yeah.
whatever. But then
That made me laugh.
Then
So
I
dumb.
see the ones where the people go into Walmart and they have the displays and stuff, and they just run and smash into the
Oh,
displays.
yes, that's stupid.
Okay, cool. Now you just made this guy who's already miserable working
Yeah.
at Walmart have to go and restack that. So I hope he shoots you in the face.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the guy that does the noises in people's ears? I'm on the fence on that one because
That guy?
Yeah.
because like he's not touching anybody, but
but
it's
still.
super annoying.
Yeah.
He absolutely deserves to be body slammed.
Right.
Yeah.
Like if I was in Home Depot and this guy got on my ear, I was like,
Yeah,
I'd turn around and wail him.
What?
I wouldn't know what was going on. I'd probably laugh afterwards, but I'd go, I just didn't know what was happening.
Like the one guy that puts the bucket over the person's head
That's
and puts
funny.
it over his head too, and then looks like he got pranked.
But
Yeah.
I feel like we're falling into what? You didn't know that was fake?
Oh no!
There's
Yeah.
Like,
already-
listen, I know that a majority
some
of
of
them are
it
fake.
looks. Some of those guys look really surprised.
Yeah, I know the majority of it. Even the guy that does the and gets body slammed, I think that's fake too.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
nobody
He's-
ever punches anyone.
He's
You know
like,
what I mean?
I don't know. Sometimes people punch people.
I had to have a sit-down conversation with a couple of my cousins who are older, who are convinced that there's like this couple that they do like Nerf fights in their house.
I
Oh,
watch that all
yeah.
the time.
Dude, yeah, one of my cousins was like, "It's so crazy. He's got such good accuracy."
Yeah.
I was like, "Dude,
But
you
what,
guys
on the
serious?"
48th take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, like the lady who's painting with no tarp down right by the sofa, and the kid, she falls backwards. It's like, and the camera was set up perfectly. Oh, I can't figure it out. By the way, I'm saying nobody gets punched. Nobody's punching people in the videos. In real life, you do.
in real life. Yeah.
In real, that's why I'm saying the videos are
I
fake.
gotcha.
Because in real life, you turn around and you just deck somebody, not, oh, let me grab and lay you down gently.
Spanish, that family that does the balloon thing.
Yes.
okay, so I'm not saying that their accuracy is always right, but they seem to it seems like be their thing, because I watched one video where they showed the cleanup of all that stuff. Like, they're definitely doing it,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
I believe that.
Yeah.
Well,
but
and the story is like he's a police officer,
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why his accuracy would be so on spot.
Yeah.
You know what I
Also,
mean?
when you're recording it, I could have that accuracy.
Yeah.
Because on the 83rd take, I made it perfect.
it's funny that you guys, when you guys watch it, you're doubting his accuracy. I'm doubting the whole thing.
Yeah.
Same, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
but there is some times where he comes out of the garage where he's not paying attention and he gets it, or the one time where they jumped out of the Christmas tree and
That was
got him.
pretty
Like,
good, yeah.
there's a couple of those that are pretty funny.
It's more that my cousins are like in shock when they see the video and they're like, look how surprised the family is. I'm like, that's all stage stuff.
You know, sometimes when I feel bad, I'm like, maybe we shouldn't be ruining it for these people. You know,
Ruin it.
But-
Ruin it.
Yeah.
Carmen.
I'm sorry. Listen. No, we should all know by now. Reality TV is scripted. It's not reality.
Yeah.
So if you know that, then you should know that all this stuff is also scripted.
You're
But-
telling me Cake Boss is fake?
they almost dropped the cake.
I got 4,800 cakes I gotta do. Nobody leave the icing outside. Ma, you left the icing outside.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do?
Like, I'm sorry.
Get out of here.
Wait a second. There was something else I want to tell you. What were you saying, Spanish? Oh, about telling him that it's fake. Remember Joey, when Joey was little, he used to love Logan Paul.
Oh, yeah.
And he'd be like, Logan Paul just bought a mansion. And I go, no, he didn't. And Joey's like, he's got 2 Lamborghinis. I'm like, Joey, listen to me. They rent those cars. Now I was wrong.
Yeah.
Logan Paul's got a lot of money. So there's some of the things that I'm too boomer about to
Yeah.
really understand.
But also, whenever they're like, did you see Evan Longoria save that
Yeah,
reporter
yeah.
from getting hit in the face with the
I mean,
ball?
they did that really good. They
They
really
did
made
that
that
really
look
good,
good.
yeah.
When my kids were younger, they were really into Dude Perfect,
Yeah.
and I had to tell them that they do those things like 100
Right,
times
yeah.
to finally land the car keys on the hook across the kitchen.
You know
Well,
what
you're
I?
just a jerk, Gio. Like, why are you gonna ruin it for your own kids? Come
Tell them
on,
there's no
guys.
Santa too.
You know what I love is when people see something like Kobe Bryant jump a car that's racing at him, whatever, and then they try it in real life and they just smash into it and
Yep.
get drilled. I
Take that
love
false confidence
That
and go
is my
ahead and
favorite.
run with it.
Oh, I saw Kobe do it. I didn't totally do it.
The guy who jumps out of the pool is my favorite.
Oh.
The guy in the pool and then he jumps out onto the side. It took me a long time to realize they just put that in reverse.
Yeah,
So-
yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
All right. We got a good show today. Martine Gramatica, getmartineinfo.com will be in the studio with us a little bit later on. Colin Quinn will be here. Colin Quinn's going to be performing tonight. He'll be in the studio with us. We got the Open Letter Rewind coming up this morning. We've got a big show that we announced yesterday, and happy to say that Stingray Chevrolet presents the Calta Christmas Extravaganza, where we're doing 2 comedy shows back-to-back at the Floridian Social Club. Tickets go on sale tomorrow at 10 o'clock. We will remind you of that several times tomorrow during the day, because I feel that both of these shows will sell out quickly. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to tell you right now. One show is naughty, The Late Show, and one show is nice. Now, Lynn Koplitz will be performing at both of them. She will do the same actable. It's not like we're not going to curse at the first one. The second one will just be a little dirtier. We got some stunts at the second one that we think may be too much for some people. So we are going to do a naughty and nice show, and you can buy tickets to either show or both shows, whatever you want to do. But here's what's going to happen. The naughty show is going to sell out in a matter of minutes. I'm telling you right now. It's going to be sold out by 10:30 tomorrow, and then everybody is going to rush to the nice show, which is going to force that to sell out right away too. So if you want tickets, get on at 10 o'clock and take whichever ones you can get, because it's going to go quick. The Floridian Social Club is not huge. That's why we're doing 2 shows. We got music. We've got comedians, Lynn Koplitz, Matt Fernandez. You know, Matt's one of our favorites. We talk about him all the time. Lynn is one of our best guests on the show. We also have some, I don't even know how to say it, stunts that we're going to do, some surprises. We got special guests stopping by.
Got some pranks.
Got some pranks.
We're having to shoot people.
We're doing War of the Roses. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
All of that stuff is happening at the Floridian Social Club on December 16th. It'll be the very last thing we do at the end of the year. The night before will be the pub crawl. The next day will be the Christmas show, the Christmas extravaganza, and then we are done for the year. So,
And
make plans.
that day on the show, people are going to have to pay the death pool. We'll see who the winner is.
All right, let's take a break. We'll get into Sporcle when we come back. It's the Mike Calta Show. This is 102.5 The Bone.
It's the Mike Calta Show.
9:45 on the Mike Calta Show. It's 102.5 The Bone. Do you know we have a new Beatles song coming out today?
Yeah, 10 a.m. Can't wait.
Probably gonna stick.
Is it new or just never released?
It's it's Paul and Ringo singing with old lyrics from George and John.
All right.
So it's a new Beatles song with all the Beatles. I don't know.
Interesting.
Look, I think Beatles fans will love it. I don't know. They did that "Free as a Bird" song one time, and that wasn't so bad. You know, it wasn't a great song, but it was all the Beatles singing together. So, who dies next, Ringo or Paul?
Paul.
Paul.
Paul seems like he's going to live forever, though.
Yeah, I think Ringo.
think so?
Ringo.
Yeah.
Yeah, Paul seems like in great shape and
Paul's
still
still marrying
doing
young girls.
and doing long concerts and out there doing and stuff. Ringo's just peace and love. peace
Ringo's
and love,
laughing his
just
way
sitting
all the
there.
way to the grave.
Yeah.
People would want Ringo to die, so that's why Paul
Yeah.
goes first.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah.
I don't want Ringo to die. I'm just saying.
But I mean, if you had the choice, you'd rather Ringo die than
Yeah.
Paul.
The world doesn't need to lose Paul.
See?
Yeah.
Today is an historic day in Starbucks history here in the Mike Calta Show.
Mm-hmm.
I officially quit cold brew yesterday,
Oh,
and I'm just drinking hot coffee
Oh,
now.
yeah. They didn't even understand what was going on when I
Right?
showed up.
Why did you
From
quit the cold brew?
Starbucks?
It's making me nauseous. Yeah, from
Really?
Starbucks.
Okay.
I mean, we're not going to lose that addiction. It's just making me nauseous. I don't know. I think
I mean,
that
you drank
cream.
so much cold brew, and
so what?
You know,
I
probably.
have no idea. So what is the difference? So the cold brew was with ice and cream and stuff, and then the hot coffee is just coffee,
It's just
or
black coffee with a little bit of cream in it. That's all it is. I
so
mean,
it's the same thing. It's just not cold.
yes.
Yeah.
it's not as much cream either, because when I watch them make with the cold brew, they put like a quarter of coffee in, a bunch of ice, and then a bunch of cream, and I'm like, ooh, too much. And then this thing is mostly black coffee with just a little bit of cream. It
And-
still has a black color when you drink it.
So why not just get a iced coffee with a little bit of cream?
It's not the same.
I think the
It tastes like
caffeine.
tar.
Well, the caffeine amount in cold brew I know is more. Yeah,
Yeah.
so that
Really?
might be what's giving you a little of the.
It is brewed differently.
Yeah.
It's brewed cold.
Oh,
Oh, all right.
Today is the
Thank you.
holiday cups, so you may experience a line at your Starbucks today.
Yeah.
They didn't give me one, but all the signage and everything is changed to holidays.
Hey, is Eric Griffin coming in tomorrow?
I don't know for sure. I know I talked about it with BT, but I haven't solidified anything.
Well, the only reason why I ask is because I didn't know he was here this weekend, and Kevin, who works at the Starbucks near me, also does. He's a middle guy for a lot of the comedians. So when I went there yesterday, sweet Kevin gave me my coffee and said, "Hey, I'm opening for Eric Griffin. Maybe I'll see you." I was like, "Oh, cool. I love him." Then he handed me my venti hot coffee, and let me tell you, Starbucks, I thought your cold brew lids were bad. 3 times on the way to practice, I picked up that coffee. The lid popped off and coffee went everywhere.
Yeah.
Both my cup holders were filled with coffee on the way to your house
You
yesterday.
need to get one of those reusable cups.
But what do? You just give it to them?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
When
what
you
I'm
walk-
doing.
And you just tell them, especially because you have hot coffee, so it's not going to take that long and you don't have like a crazy order.
Right.
But when you order, you just say, da-da-da, I want this. Plus, I have a reusable cup. And they go,
Okay.
pull it out."
I have a feeling you just made Mike buy 90 of those because
Yeah.
he'll never remember
Yeah.
it, or this one will be dirty. You know what I mean? But I think
Yeah.
that's everyone.
The
really.
first thing I thought of.
He just has
Or
a case of them in the backseat of the
Never
Yeah.
car.
washes them.
or I get with Joey at Starbucks and I say, "Give me 2. You keep one and I'll keep one and I'll exchange it every time I go back."
Oh, there you go.
Because they have that special water fountain where they just put the
Yeah.
cup on it and it squirts water up.
It'd be like, remember when we went to Germany? They had the beer steins with people's
Yeah.
names.
Oh,
And
yeah.
when they show up to the bar, their stein is already there, and it had been there for like generations for their family.
Awesome.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, man, I'm taking advantage of the good things in life
Yeah.
these days.
Have you seen those beers that they have like concessions where they fill from the bottom?
Yeah.
They have the thing, whatever. Yeah, so it goes in underneath.
Black
and,
magic.
And then it
I don't like
doesn't
it.
have a hole. And
I
you're
don't
like,
like it.
what?
Yeah.
How did you do this? It's so good.
I think they had that at Emily Arena.
Really?
Maybe not anymore, but at one point they did.
yeah.
It's pretty cool.
It makes it so much faster, and
Yeah.
you take out the human element where it's like I'm trying to pour it, and
Yeah,
get a
too
head
much
on it, and
foam.
foam.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it just goes and fills them up. He's super fast.
Which, by the way, Joe, I need you to check the lines
Oh,
at some
all right.
point.
Oh.
Make sure we're not running low out there.
I'd be happy to check the lines.
Thank
Michael.
you,
No
thank
problem.
you.
You gonna put some eggnog in there soon?
Maybe,
No.
maybe. Carmen, what do we have to give away today?
So we have our last pair of tickets to Summer of '99.
Oh, that's Creed and a bunch of other good bands.
Yep. We have tickets for TSO, Next Big Thing, Barbecue Love Fest, and Monster Jam.
There you go. I like the way you operate. The Barbecue Love Fest guys, the folks from the brisket shop will be here tomorrow to cook some food for us.
Nice.
Sorry, Carmen. And they'll be out there cooking in the outdoor kitchen where Joe never has video of. I'm thinking about hooking my security cameras up just so we get to see something while we're out there. All right, let's do it. A little bit of Sporcle. Here we go.
You know what we should eventually do is just get one of those court artists.
Yeah,
that
sketch
will
artists?
draw- sketch artists
yeah.
that'll draw the stuff.
I
Be
can
able to
do
get-
it. I can
No.
sketch it.
Wait, what?
Did you see that guy, that furry-haired guy, the drug CEO kid? What's his name?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about,
Freeman.
though. Freeman, yeah. Did you see the sketch artist picture?
They're the best.
They made him look
They're-
like a supermodel.
Yeah.
It was hilarious. All right, Carmen is the keeper of Sporcle. Pap is your judge and scorekeeper in a fair and balanced way. Carmen, Galvin overtook yesterday.
Yeah.
He not only did he win, but he doubled my score, negating the rule. So there is currently no rule right now. Very good job, Galvin. Made me mad, but it was a good job. All right, what are we playing, Carmen?
All right, I know you love them. We're gonna do some easy math.
All right.
Pew, pew, pew.
I'm out.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you simple math questions, and then you're gonna answer them. Pretty simple, okay?
All right.
Got it.
Got it? Okay, we are starting with word problems right now.
All right.
Okay.
So your first one: what is the area of a rectangle with sides 3 and 8 inches long?
24.
Yes, sorry, Mike.
I was worried about that.
Yeah, I was wondering. I was like, that's right.
I wanted to make sure I was on the right buzzer.
Mm-hmm.
Subtract 9 from 8.
1.
Negative one.
Negative one.
Oh, yeah.
What are we waiting for?
Hello?
Judge?
Oh, sorry, Joe. I need
no.
Joe. Yeah.
Spanish.
No, that was Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah, integrity. That was Mike.
He
I got
had no
you.
idea. I got you. Guessed.
He went
Oh,
Spanish.
there was so much wrong with that.
I got your back, Joe.
He was busy drawing the sketch of the taps out there.
And Spanish.
Wait, I'm sorry. What did you say, Mike?
Negative one.
Okay, yes, I was making sure because I'm sorry. I
All right. We're all good. We're all good.
All right, here we go.
blanked out for a second.
All right.
All right. Jake has 4 cats. Herb has 2 fewer cats than Jake.
2.
How many cats does Jake have?
4.
Geo. Thank you.
Math.
We're back. 4 kids eat pizza. The pizza is divided into 8 even slices.
2.
Mike. AJ has 3 dimes, 2 nickels, and 1 penny. How much
41
money?
cents.
Mike. 302 paintballs in Bill's gun. If he fires half of them, how many will he have left?
151.
Galvin. All right, we are off the word problems for a little bit.
Yes.
Good.
Your next one. 4 plus 5
9.
times 4.
54.
36.
No.
4 plus 5 times 4.
Yep.
45.
No, I was
Oh.
looking for 24.
Wait.
No, that's
four.
wrong.
Say it again.
Because you have to do the times first. So
Do it.
5.
Oh, all right.
4 plus 5 times 4, but you have to do 5
20.
times 4
Oh,
first.
you didn't.
Oh,
you
yeah.
didn't PEMDAS us. You got to
I-
let us know.
I
where
just
the-
read the equation the
All
way
right.
it goes.
All
You
right.
have to know how to
All right.
do
Oh,
the math
oh,
No.
oh,
in
I
the correct
know.
order.
That's no fair.
I can't
Apparently you
see the
don't.
paper. All right, lady.
Like I said, there was nothing. I read the equation.
I heard Spanish.
No point. Next one. 50 minus 30.
Negative 15.
Negative 20.
50 minus 30.
Oh,
50?
you said 15.
20.
Get the crap out of your mouth.
20.
I said 50 minus 30.
You said 15.
Yeah. We all answered the 15.
Not all of us.
Yeah, not everybody.
Gio gets the point.
Uh-huh.
Question mark?
Yeah.
The judge is asking everyone else, I guess.
I don't know the answers.
Yeah.
The answer was 20. I needed 20. Okay. 6 minus 4.
2.
Pap, pap.
Spanish.
Yeah.
Yes.
Negative 2?
6 plus 8.
14.
Mike. 74 minus 58.
12.
21.
74 minus 58.
15.
Oh, I got it now. 26.
16.
Oh, well, yeah, 16. 16. That was
That's what I
it.
was
close.
looking
What did I
for.
say? 21.
8 minus 5.
3.
3 is correct, Pap Pap.
Galvin.
That was me all day.
That was me all day.
I heard Spanish.
Oh, brother.
8 times 7.
56.
Mike. 8 divided by 1.
8.
Mike. 81 plus 80.
161.
Mike and Pap Pap. We are having
Cranberry
there.
Bliss bars are back.
What?
Oh, that's not good.
Spanish is on the board. He has
I'm
a
so
single
excited.
point. Galvin and Gio doubling that score with 2. And Michael is your leader right now. He has 8.
Oh.
All right, we're doing some easy math. We're going to do some more word problems right now. Your next one. Ryan has 4 fewer cats than Alex. Alex has 7 cats.
3.
How many cats do they have in total?
Hate it.
Can you say it again?
Ryan has 4 fewer cats
7.
than Alex. Alex has 7 cats. How
10.
many?
11.
10.
10.
He said 4.
4 fewer cats.
4 and
Or
7.
few-
Oh,
7
4
ca-
fewer cats.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Joe ate 3/4 of his orange. How many quarters?
1.
Mike. 4 birds on a fence. There 3 more come.
7.
Galvin. 5 cherries. You eat 3.
2.
Galvin.
I was waiting for it. Then you spit up.
Yeah,
three.
I
You throw up.
Then you puke 2 of them up.
AJ has 3 pennies, 2 nickels, and a dime. How much money does he
22
have?
cents.
23. Pap Pap.
I don't.
Oh,
What'd
it
you
was
say?
like me. I didn't
can't-
answer.
I said 24.
I said 23. Pap
I-
didn't answer.
No, I did not. Michael.
Okay, Mike gets a point. I heard 23, just wasn't sure who said
I
it.
didn't know who said it.
I did not
Oh,
say
God,
23.
I did say.
B times 6 equals 36. What does
6.
B equal? Galvin. Okay, now we're just going to go back to regular math. 9 times 10.
90.
Mike. 8 plus 9.
17.
Mike. 8 plus 3.
20.
11.
11 is what I needed. Geo. 79 plus 0.
79.
79. Pap Pap.
Michael.
No.
No way. That was,
Jesus,
He's the
you're
last.
worst.
That was
I
You're
did
the
not
worst.
answer correctly.
Yeah.
Integrity. Anyone?
that was me.
I thought it was me.
I heard Galvin.
I don't know.
I'm just giving you my opinion.
I thought it was me.
No point. No integrity. No point.
Oh, I had integrity. Give me the point. I had
You
integrity.
you all miss out if there's no integrity.
No point.
No point.
Good job, Joe.
Thank you.
So proud of your no point. Rare.
Anytime.
Garbage.
73 minus 47.
25.
16.
26.
26.
That's what I meant. 26.
Galvin.
Damn it.
Minus is hard.
7 plus 7
14.
minus
Ah!
7.
7.
7.
Mike. 7 times 12.
84.
79.
84.
4.
7.
Spanish.
Yeah.
6 times 9.
54.
Mike. 6 minus 3.
3.
3 is correct. Pap Pap.
Galvin.
Calvin gets the point.
Plus 2.
No. 55 divided by 11.
11.
5.
5 is what I meant.
Calvin and Pap Pap. We are on the last 3.
Minus 2.
Spanish has 2 points on the board. Gio slightly ahead with 3. Galvin out front with 8. And Michael is your leader. He has 14.
Oh.
All right, easy math. Last 3. Here we go. 53 plus 14.
69.
67. Spanish.
I'm just guessing.
5 plus 5 plus 5.
15.
Galvin. And your last one.
Here we go.
4 plus 4.
8.
Galvin. What? I'm just,
We're just waiting
it
for the
just gets
other shoe to
confusing.
drop.
I know. I'm just reading the questions though.
All right.
That's dumb.
Your final score, Spanish and Gio tied with 3. Galvin with 10, and Michael today is your triumphant champion. He won with 14.
Plus 3. Thank you very much. It was hard. Galvin, what do we have coming up in news?
The judge minus his job equals job. Coming up in news, still here. We're back. And Uber P.
Uber P.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Galvin Nation News will do that when we come back. Today, Martin Gramatica will be here on the show. We'll do football picks with him and Ian Beckles, who'll be stopping by tomorrow, by the way. And then Colin Quinn will be here in the studio with us. He's got a show tonight. Where is his show tonight? Who is bringing him here?
Spanish looked at Gio.
It's the best show ever. The #1 show in Tampa.
It's what I set up through Katie.
So somewhere
I
at Ruth
believe
Eckerd
it's-
Hall, maybe the Capitol
I believe
Theater.
it's the Capitol Theater.
We'll know before Colin gets here.
Yes.
Colin Quinn is in town tonight. He'll be in the studio with us in the 9 o'clock hour. We must take a break. Galvin has your news. We'll do it next on 102.5 The Bone.
It's the Mike Calta Show on 102.5 The Bone. 102.
7:12 on the Mike Calta Show. It's 102.5 The Bone on a Thursday morning where it is frask outside. A little bit cool. A little chilly. Sweater weather in Florida. Only to get you all excited as you go get your holiday cup at Starbucks today and your cranberry bliss bar. And then tomorrow you wake up and it's a balmy 85 degrees again. This is the worst time of the year. It's just so confusing. Today on the show, Colin Quinn will be here. Martin Gramatica will be here. Tomorrow, Ian Beckles will be stopping by. We got to do our football picks today, too, when Martin is here. And we announced yesterday at this time, Stingray Chevrolet presents the Calta Christmas Extravaganza. 2 great shows that we're doing on the 16th of December at the Floridian Social Club, which is the former State Theater. And it is in St. Petersburg on Central Avenue. It is a beautiful, beautiful place. Like, I'm telling you this. You know how, like, I wear basketball shirts and shorts and a shirt with no sleeves almost every day? There are times, though, when you're like, oh, let's fancy up and go to dinner, and you wear a nice little jacket and or a button-down shirt and jeans, and you just dress it up a little bit. That's kind of what this night is going to be. You can wear whatever you want, but I think it'd be if some of you people want to have, like, a little special holiday outing, this is a good time to do that. There are also, I think, there's VIP available. It's going to be a great time. 2 shows headlined by Lynn Koplitz and Matt Fernandez. And, of course, us. We will be doing, there'll be singing, there'll be performances, there'll be stunts, there'll be storytelling, there'll be surprise guests. It's going to be a great time. One show is naughty, one show is nice. Both shows are pretty much going to be the same, except I'm going to be honest, the naughty show has a couple of dirty things in there that you people in the nice show may not be ready for. So
You guys get to see my dong.
no,
Hell
no,
yeah.
no Christmas dog.
Finally.
I'm going to deck the halls.
If you paint it like a candy cane, I'll take a look at it. Look at it, not a lick at it. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. Just want to make sure everyone knows what I said the right way.
Peppermint burns.
Tis the season.
That is all happening on December 16th. Tickets go on sale this Friday morning at 10 a.m. Right now, let's check in with Galvin. He has today's news.
And now, news with Galvin on the Mike Calta Show.
What do we have in news today, Galvin?
Today's news is brought to you by Pelt Shoes. They have the Pelt Perks program going on right now, online and in stores, where I'm helping you guys save some money. So here's how it works. You're going to get points that you can redeem for cash off your next purchase. So whenever you stop into any of the Pelt Shoe store, you can whisper my name, Galvin. You're going to get $5 off your purchase there, and then you're going to get $25 points automatically deposited into your Pelt Perks account. So stop into Pelt, save some money, get some new shoes. You look all fancy. Oh, maybe some new shoes for Christmas time. Ooh, dance around, new shoes.
Like new shoes.
Yeah.
I got new shoes yesterday. I was very excited.
Yeah. I love it. Didn't whisper my name.
No, but you know how I got
Son of
them?
a
I got them by accident.
Oh.
My wife ordered like
They're on the
fancy
side of the
shoes.
road.
Yeah. They were on a pole by the strings. My wife ordered some fancy Nikes for my son a long time ago, and they came in and they were too big for him. Fit me.
Oh.
And I like them.
I
So,
like it.
yeah.
Very nice.
But unlike pelts, I can't return them if I don't like
Yeah.
them.
And you didn't get any points either.
I got no points.
You got no points. You got no points with those shoes.
No points.
How many points you get with those shoes? That's going to be a new thing on the street. Not,
man.
instead of one of those, how many points?
What a
Hey,
point.
man, what'd you get them dunks? What kind of points you get on that?
What kind of points?
Yeah.
Pelt shoes, get them at Pelts. I cannot believe this guy is still hanging around. A vote to expel Republican lawmaker George Santos from the U.S. House of Representatives failed on Wednesday, with fewer than 2/3 of the chamber supported the resolution.
When you get fired from radio, they bring you in the office after the show and they go, hey, you're fired. And then a guy is packing your desk while they're talking.
Yeah.
And then they push you out the door. This guy won't leave.
Yeah.
Santos on Friday pleaded not guilty to a 23-count federal indictment accusing him of crimes including laundering funds to pay for his personal expenses, illegally receiving unemployment benefits, and charging donors credit cards without their consent.
Yeah.
And this guy's still in there.
People voted for this guy, first of all, in the first place to get him in there.
And then they had another vote to get him out.
And he
they
said no.
didn't vote him
But
out.
you know why they didn't vote him out?
No.
Because everybody's doing the same thing he is.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that
they don't want him
yeah.
to tell.
I listen, I'm not for, politicians using their power to embed themselves into different companies, but he did it right because he embedded himself in the right ones. Now they can't get him out because
Listen
he's
to me.
entwined with all these other guys.
If it's one thing I've learned this year, and I already kind of know it in the back of my head, but if there's one thing I learned this year, this country, because of its people that come here, is the greatest country in the world. The people are the greatest people. We all get up every day with the pursuit of happiness, and we pursue it as much as we can, and people do things for each other, and we're a great country. Our government is one of the most corrupt governments in the whole country. We are garbage people when it comes to that. Not us, because we don't have anything to do with it. They hide things from us. They lie to us. They tell us two different sides of the story, and all of them are corrupt. I'm telling you right now, Donald Trump is sitting on trial in one of many trials he's going to have to go through because he's a corrupt son of a bitch. Joe Biden is even more corrupt than Donald Trump is, the amount of money that he has been bringing in and laundering to his family. It's insane. This Dr. Fauci stuff is crazy. Our government is the biggest bunch of liars, and if anybody doesn't believe that, you are 100% still blind. Still blind. What can we do about it? I have no idea. You vote for a guy
That's the
like this.
problem.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Who am I going to vote for president? Ron DeSantis and his fake shoes? I don't
Kennedy.
know.
Robert Kennedy.
What Robert Kennedy? What makes him so great?
The fact that he's anti-establishment.
Yeah, everybody says they're anti-establishment.
Yeah,
Then
but
they
his
get in
voting
office.
record.
Yeah, but then they get in office. Yeah, his voting record in the position he holds now. Then you get to be the most powerful guy in the world, and you're like, yeah, right. I'll take a couple bucks here, a couple bucks there. I'm not nearly as bad as the last guy. Next thing you know, you're in there for 8 years, and you become one of the most corrupt guys. I'm telling you right now, it does it to everybody.
Yeah, I agree with you.
But out of the people that are out there, Kennedy does seem like a guy who genuinely cares and wants to do something. Whether that's a great facade and an act and
my
stuff.
My first election where I voted for somebody who I thought genuinely cared was Bill Clinton. My second one was Barack Obama. I voted for two Democrats who
We
I
got
felt
tricked real
genuinely
hard.
cared, and I got tricked.
Listen
One
to me.
guy turned the White
Yeah.
House into a goddamn clown house and was getting secret BJs from fat girls, and then the other guy flip-flopped on everything he said.
Yeah.
And I like Obama.
You
Yeah.
take the sex stuff out of Clinton's administration, whatever. He goes down as one of the best presidents ever. And
Still going to go down as one of the best presidents, but what's happening is that
foreign policy was pretty trash.
you listen to me. All the Democrats' foreign policy are trash. Then you get a Republican in there, he's got great foreign policy and doesn't care about the poor
Yeah.
people of America. It's a flip flop both ways. I don't know what the answer is. I'm not sitting here from my high perch telling you what the greatest. I don't know. All I know is this year I really realized that we are just among the most corrupt,
The most.
murdering
Yeah.
governments we've ever seen, and we just get fed the BS where we go, but America,
Wait.
we got Lee Greenwood singing songs about us, and we're the best ever. Now, don't get me wrong. I love this country. I never want to leave here. I'll fight for it. I'll die for it. But I love the people.
Yeah.
I love the
Yeah.
people that are here and the people that are still following the American dream. just that dream is just that, a
But
dream.
you also have people that are saying America is the greatest country in the world that have never been outside of America.
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
very wild.
Never been outside of Holiday, Florida. Yeah, I
Yeah.
get you.
All right. Who's ready for some good news? All right. Bad news, good news. Florida's Seminole tribe won't wait for a pair of lawsuits that question the validity of its 2021 compact with the state to be resolved. As it announced, it will go live next month with sports betting, craps, and roulette. Craps and roulette in its brick and mortar casinos. The tribe will debut the new games here in Tampa on December 8th. So the press release made no mention of the online betting, but rumors are saying that the mobile app will actually launch before the games do.
So what I heard was, and maybe I heard wrong, I heard this on Drew and John yesterday, because I guess the different casinos, Immokalee and,
Yes.
and Hollywood and all that, they have different rollout dates.
Yes.
But I thought that they said that you can begin sports betting inside the casino.
Right, the brick
so
and
they,
mortar,
they,
yes.
they will have a sports book now?
Sportsbook, yeah. So the sports betting, craps,
I'll take the
and
drive over
roulette
there.
at its brick and mortar casinos.
Okay.
And then the press release didn't make mention of the online betting, but rumors are going around saying that they'll actually launch the mobile app before they launch this, which is December 8th. So that's
you got 8 more weeks of football, and then you got playoffs and Super Bowl. Get it going
UFC,
now.
You got boxing, you got everything. Basketball.
Parlaying that with a hockey game.
Let's do it.
Get a little Buccaneer loss with a Lightning win. I'll parlay that. Listen, this is great news for us, the degenerate gambler, but also the casual gambler. I mean, it's ridiculous that you can go there and you can play any table card game you want, but you can't play roulette.
And
but you can play roulette.
Yeah, electronic roulette and then craps as well. Yeah,
It's all
so
just
weird.
it's all just fine print, and I'm glad that they're able to be adults about it now and say, look, what's the difference if you have roulette or if you have craps or if you just have 3-card poker or blackjack? The truth is that you're still going to go there and spend your money whether you want to or not. Like, you don't want to, you don't go there. You want to spend it, you go there. It's your responsibility as an adult to do it and do it responsibly. If not, call the number and talk to those people, whatever they got there.
I'm not believing any of it.
No?
Until I can actually do it, I'm not going to believe
Well,
it's
what is it?
happening.
December what? What's the date?
December 8th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody's, oh, it's next week. It's this week. Oh, it's going to be now. I'm like, until I can actually do it, then I will believe that it's actually happening.
Listen, here's the deal, though, is if it's just in there where they have the sports book in there and they're not doing the mobile app, you can just Venmo me. I'll be over there. And you can be like, hey, what do you want?
Yeah.
I'll put money down for you.
Listen, one thing we're really lacking here is the amount of time that we go over there in the day. I wouldn't mind if we said, hey, Thursdays after the show, we go eat lunch at the Hard Rock, place our bets.
Yeah,
and leave.
I would go. I got a new
Beautiful.
game.
Of course.
I'm
Yeah.
playing 3-card poker now.
Yep.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
When did you start playing?
On the boat with
cruise?
Mike. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
He cleaned
Well,
up.
and also they're going to have craps there, and I know you like craps.
Very excited. I got to
Roulette's
tell
funny.
you though, I think craps might be moving down in the 3-card poker. I really liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3-card poker is great because in one hand you can win a bunch of money.
Really crazy.
Galvin.
Because if you're playing the different stuff and you get
I like to, when I get 3-card poker, I like to take my cards and I like to look at the first card.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's a queen, I just put it down and I bet and I go the rest blind. So I opened it up and I got a 3 and I separated it and I go, ooh, 2 3s. And I separated the other one and it was a third 3. I would grab my
Nice.
pants, put it down, took my $1,100 and was like, oh,
Awesome.
Just
Do
great
you
feeling.
do you play with the dealer's hand as well? Do you play the
6 cards?
6
Sure.
card and do that? Yeah, I
I'm
love
in for all of it.
I love
Yeah.
doing that. And sometimes I'll switch up my bet where I'll put like more money out there. So if you hit the bonus, you hit a big bonus, and you're like,
oh, if you're not betting at least $25 on the pair plus, you're missing
Yeah,
out.
I agree.
that's fun.
Yeah, 3 cards so fun.
I wonder now, though, if it's going to open it up to other sports books or if this is all politically motivated where campaign donations are going to certain politicians.
I don't care.
I think that one.
Listen
No,
to me.
yeah.
Whenever
We piggyback after how corrupt the government is into that and we follow the campaign donations.
You could tell me that they're smashing babies
Yeah.
out in the
Yeah,
parking
yeah.
lot.
Exactly.
And I'd go, can I still bet? And they go, yeah. And I go,
I'm
okay,
in.
move
Yeah.
those babies out
we
of the
don't
way.
need all those babies. There's too many babies in the world.
Definitely too many babies.
Too many babies.
Yeah.
Tampa Electric said it will significantly reduce bills starting January 2024. So,
How?
Huh? Well, on Wednesday, the Florida Public Service Commission unanimously approved TECO's request to lower its rates by 11% starting in the new year. To put it in perspective, Tampa residents using 1,000 kilowatt hours of electricity would see a drop in their monthly bill by $17.65 to $143.48. So somewhere in between there, depending on how much you're using.
It's been pretty awful.
Inflation.
Commercial and industrial rates will decrease by 10 to 18%. TECO said reductions vary, but rates will be well below national average and among the lowest in the state.
I can tell you guys this is a fact. I think I sent you the article from Forbes, Michael, but a lot of private investors the past 3 months specifically are buying up as much plutonium as they can. And the big thing is going to be
Plutonium, you say?
mini reactors is going to be the new move.
So the new power?
Yeah, because everybody's trying to go solar. This whole green solar push ended up being a total
Question.
bust.
Where does one buy plutonium from? Because Doc Brown couldn't get it.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
The Libyans.
Yeah, you would have to know people, and you would do it through your company that does research on different
right.
plutonium.
By the way, the fact that we're not using nuclear power more
ridiculous.
is it's
Yeah.
crazy
It's-
because
They
everyone
say
thinks,
that until Chernobyl.
No, listen,
but that's it. Is everybody thinks of Chernobyl, and that was so long ago, and they've come so far. That's like saying,
I think Homer Simpson. That's what makes me.
still riding horses over there.
yeah, because most of our military equipment is nuclear powered.
Yeah,
Like air
look, I'm
carriers
not against it.
yeah.
I'm not against it. It's just one time we looked at the closest nuclear power plant was like in Hudson or
Yeah.
Spring Hill or something, and we looked at that if the radius, if that melted down, how far it would go, we'd all be dead.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
It's just something to think about.
yeah, nah.
If Homer Simpson can run it, I think we'll be fine.
Yeah.
But also, if the government is using lasers to kill
Yeah.
everyone in Hawaii, then you know,
That's
let's not
want
worry
us
about
dead.
Hudson.
that tech is really old tech from the 80s. The new stuff that they have now for nuclear technology, it's minimal damage.
I'm going with Galvin's here.
Yeah.
You tell me it's going to lower my electric bill?
Yeah.
I fire it up.
Yeah.
Fire it up.
Well, the reason that I
Put
brought
some
this
babies
up
in there.
is that's why you're going to be seeing this a lot of energy companies that are going to kind of be trying to bend over backwards because
Yeah.
they know it's
Stay with us. Don't
time's
get your
out.
own plutonium.
Yeah, time's running out. Yeah.
So if I get some plutonium, can I just put it in my
Just
my generator in the back or something?
No.
yeah.
Just have Joe do it.
Fire it up.
Okay.
Didn't they raise all the rates during the pandemic and blame inflation?
Hey, yeah.
So now they're putting it back to
Somebody
where
remembers.
They're putting it right back to where it was. And
Yeah.
everybody's like, "Oh,
We're
thank you,
helping.
thank
Yeah.
you so much. You're
Yep.
giving me back what I already had."
Yeah.
We're helping you.
Yeah.
Hey, baseball's over. The Texas Rangers beat the Arizona Diamondbacks to capture their first World Series title.
Range up.
Yeah. Texas off. I don't know what it is.
I hate baseball.
I didn't watch a single
Yeah,
game.
me.
I hate baseball. I thought about it this morning. I was like, I went to a Yankee game this year for Old Timers Day and didn't watch 1 second of the game. and I know why. It's because I don't identify any of the players at the time that I was loving the Yankees, I had Jeter, O'Neill, Bernie Williams, Andy Pettitte, Jorge Posada. Like I had all these great players. David Wells, Roger Clemens was on there for a while. Scott Brocious played. Like there were all those years where I had all these guys playing that I loved, and then they all left, and I'm like, well, I'm not interested anymore. Aaron Judge's the only thing there, and I'm like,
I've just never liked baseball as a game. I've just never, even when I was playing it. I was playing baseball when I was a kid, and I was
So
like, I don't really
boring.
like this. I just wanted to pitch. I
Yeah.
was like, let me try and do that.
They added the pitch clock this year, which made the games go a little faster, which was kind of cool. But
but still
not enough.
It's not enough. It's just boring. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, there were times when the Yankees would be in the playoffs, and they were that Aaron F. and Boone game when the Yankees were at the playoffs, and it was in extra innings, and you were at the edge of your seat with every pitch, and then Aaron Boone jacks that home run to left field, and you're like, this is the greatest thing ever. I don't know what it would take to get me to feel that excited again. I don't. Maybe my son playing for the team. Other than that, I have no interest whatsoever.
A 43-year-old man in North Carolina got arrested for pointing a gun at trick-or-treaters and smacking a bucket of candy out of a 6-year-old's
Oh,
hand.
come on,
I
that's
get
funny. Yeah.
Please say he might have been drunk.
She's gonna give me a Kit Kat.
Yeah.
How many passwords would you say you have currently for different stuff?
Dude. I got a whole book of them.
I mean, think about it. Your bank card, your phone,
It's
your
absurd.
I have
emails,
one
however many
password
different
for
emails to
everything.
get
Oh,
into
don't say that.
Spanish is gay 69.
Yeah.
Everything.
Why is
All right.
69?
You know why?
All right.
So for different passwords, they actually say to use like a phrase is good.
Yeah.
But did you know you can use emojis?
What?
Yeah, you
I
can
did not
use
know
it's
that.
in some passwords, not in all of them, but some passwords. Cybersecurity expert says they can make your passwords much stronger because it drastically increases the number of character options. So if you can use
Dude.
emojis in there,
I found
I'm
out
down.
this year you could use a space bar.
Yeah.
So if my
but-
password is I hate Spanish 69, I can do space.
Yeah.
I hate Spanish
Yeah,
69.
but be careful because a lot of people do that and then they forget that they have this. That's like the number
Spanish.
one reason.
I change my iTunes password every 2 days because I could never. I'm like, this one's going to be so easy. I'm going to call it Amanda 220, and
What
2
do you,
days later, I'm like, I think it's my wife's name.
What do you use iTunes for? What do you have on there?
Nothing. Like I don't use it for
Well,
anything.
your
I'm
Apple-
talking about my Apple ID.
Yeah.
that's what I meant.
Apple ID.
Yeah, but
okay.
I don't-
Because I was wondering. I was like, iTunes. What are you getting on there that you
My
can't
music.
get everywhere else? Yeah.
Spotify is my
so-
number one
yeah.
spot for music. I don't listen to anything else.
I would be using Spotify, but because I bought albums through iTunes, I feel like now I just
You know
get
what though? Why don't you
Apple
listen
Music
to them
have-
on Spotify? You're still getting the same
Yeah,
album.
I already
Yeah.
paid for it. I already paid for it on one.
By the way, speaking of Spotify, do you know that Van Halen, A Different Kind of Truth, is not on there? And do you know why?
I do not.
So it was their latest album that they did with David Lee Roth when they
Right.
did the comeback and did all that stuff. Because of David Lee Roth.
What?
I guess he doesn't like the album and he's holding it up and stuff.
Oh, really?
Because it was on there and I remember.
the
'cause
MeWise Magic one?
No. That was the best of whatever. This one's
Or not MeWise Magic, the tattoo.
yeah.
Tattoo.
Yeah.
Tattoo.
Yeah. But it has much better songs than that on
Yeah.
there. But yeah, I guess he didn't like the album.
That was a great album.
Yeah.
That was a
Great.
great album.
Because they used a lot of earlier stuff that they had, like demo stuff, whatever, that they recorded and did, and it was a great album. But yeah,
Chinatown.
Yeah.
Right? That was a great
Out of
album.
Space, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was really good. But I have it on my playlist, and then comes up, and it's nothing there, whatever. And I remember looking for it a while back, but then I heard Wolfgang talking about it, and he goes, there's a certain somebody who doesn't like that album. And
Damn.
holding up, yeah. Stupid.
It is.
DoorDash has started warning people who don't pre-tip that their food might arrive cold. Does everybody pre-tip?
I do.
I do.
I always
just do
do.
what I just do the 20% that they offer.
Yeah, I do the
On
same thing. But
Uber Eats
you can
or
change
DoorDash
it.
specific?
Uber Eats.
Yeah.
Uber Eats, DoorDash, any of the delivery things,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, I always pre-tip.
Right
whatever.
before, yeah,
I
right?
don't think I've ever had to be like, well, you're not getting that
Yeah.
amount, change it or anything like that. I've actually given more
Yeah.
because they were great. And
Especially if
fast
it's
and
raining,
super nice. Yeah,
or
something
rush
like that.
hour, yeah.
Yeah. Well, they say if you don't tip ahead, your order is less appealing to drivers, so it takes longer for someone to agree to deliver your food, so it's sitting there for a while, and that may be a problem, whatever. But it's funny. Go ahead, Carmen.
Oh, I was gonna say I thought they couldn't see the tip until after.
That's what I thought too, but I guess
I don't know.
I think that's the main change is they can now see it beforehand.
Interesting.
I
Maybe
go
that's just
20%.
DoorDash. I don't
Maybe,
know.
yeah.
I will not do 20% if it's a place that's like 5 minutes away from
Why?
my like
They
if
still
I
gotta bring it
if
to
I
you.
double down, yeah, but so like in St. Pete, you can get when you bundle, the same driver will pick up both because a lot of the places are on the same way. So I'll just tip heavy on the first order.
Yeah,
and
that makes
not-
sense.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
I always do priority.
Oh yeah.
I wanted to hear 2 minutes before everybody else.
Yeah.
My son is driving for Three Brothers Pizza. He's delivering now.
Awesome.
And he called me yesterday and he was like, I got a tip from because nobody's paying cash anymore. And I go, well, put that in your pocket. Don't tell anybody about it. Keep it going. Yeah, it's just weird. I mean, that's usually how it goes, but now they pay the driver per thing and then plus tips and all that. Being a driver is making some money.
Not
Oh,
bad.
yeah, they can make some good money.
Everybody takes tips now. Everybody. No matter the service,
Oh,
no
yeah.
matter what you do, everybody's a tip.
I love whenever they do. They're going to ask you some questions.
Yeah.
on here. Oh, really? They're going to ask you some questions.
You
What are
know,
the
he's not
questions?
though. You know, he's holding out McDonald's. Still on tip McDonald's.
That's true.
McDonald's
Go
never had a bucket. They never had a line. You pay for your credit card. You don't have to put a tip on there.
Yeah.
McDonald's is like, we pay our workers.
They just raise their wages. No big deal.
Yeah, it's
I'm
wild.
down for it.
It's wild. So you have that with the DoorDash, but then listen to this with Grubhub. Does anybody use Grubhub?
No.
No?
I've never used
I
anything but
have.
Uber Eats.
A guy in Utah ordered Chick-fil-A through Grubhub, and instead of a milkshake, he got what? What do you think?
Just
he got?
milk.
Just milk?
Just mayonnaise.
No.
That doesn't sound good.
I don't even. This
Instead of a
is so cool,
milkshake,
though.
he got
Just a shake.
just some guy shaking.
Oh,
You
thing
got
of,
Parkinson's.
just like a cup of whipped cream.
No, that would be delightful.
Oh, yeah, it's not good.
No, it's not delightful.
No, he got a
Cleaning-
cup of
Cleaning fluid.
hot piss.
Oh.
He got warm pee.
Why?
It turned out the driver likes to save time by relieving himself in his car and mixed up the cups. Unfortunately, the guy who ordered it didn't realize it and took a sip.
No, I would say that too if I was preparing a lawsuit.
He reached out to Grubhub, and they say it says that they took 4 days to get back to him and issued a partial refund. His meal was $25. They only returned $18.
How much for the pee?
They didn't refund the fees or the driver's tip. Grubhub said in the statement that they've been following up with the guy, and they apologized, and the driver no longer works for them. By the way, the guy's name's Caleb. Here's a picture of him and the warm cup of pee.
I mean, at least it was warm.
By
They
the way,
cared enough.
that driver needs to see a doctor. Look at that.
Why
That
so-
is way too dark.
Yeah.
Well, you know why? He's probably driving around drinking coffee all the time. Keep
But
himself
I have a
awake.
question. I have a question.
Yes,
if
Carmen.
if you order a milkshake and it's warm, do you drink
No.
that
Yeah.
milkshake?
But
no.
It
the
would
story
feel
doesn't
different
add up
in your
totally.
hand.
Yeah, possibly, but if you grab it by the lid and you just stick a straw in there, or if it's next to your food and you're like, oh, maybe it's just warm because of the food.
But the color is
No, lid on there. You just stick a straw in and go sip.
But the like that has a specific aroma. You know what I mean?
Lid.
But you don't think the
Listen to me. You got your baby's crying, your dog's barking, you're trying to get back to the game, you're sitting your food down, and you stick a straw in there and you
Yeah.
take a sip.
But
You know
listen
what I
to me,
mean?
there is a consistency in the cup. There's a thin, squeezable cup, and then
Yeah.
there's a shake cup. I mean, I'm
Listen,
calling
maybe,
shenanigans
maybe
on this.
Caleb's not the smartest guy in the world.
Maybe
Or
Caleb's in with the driver.
Yeah.
Fake fish.
could be. We'll
I'm calling
find out.
fake fish.
Yeah,
We'll
it
find
doesn't
out.
make
Fake piss.
sense.
I would rather have fake fish than a cup of urine.
Dude, the peach milkshake at Chick-fil-A might be one of the greatest things ever invented. in
The
mankind.
opposite of that.
The opposite of
The
that,
opposite
yeah.
of that.
I have had it. It is
It's
delicious.
Fantastic.
Yeah, that made the list of the different shakes
Oh,
that
so-
they said
so
were
good.
really good. I have not had it, but it sounds fantastic.
I mean, now you might get that.
That's not Chick-fil-A's fault. That's
No, yeah.
that's the who was it? Grubhub. I have a hot or not for you guys.
Oh, good.
yes.
It is a Florida mom was arrested after allegedly leaving her 7-year-old daughter in a car while she got drunk at a local bar.
Yeah.
DeLand police said Veronica Elliott was charged with child neglect after the incident unfolded at the Perfect Spot Bar. Around 3 a.m. on a Sunday, police were called to the bar after a 7-year-old girl walked up to the bar looking for her mom.
Oh, that's so sad.
The investigation revealed that the child was left in an unlocked car in the parking lot. Veronica walked up to the officers at the scene asking what time it was. Elliott said that she only meant to be away for 10 minutes. Police said that the 35-year-old woman was barefoot, covered in dirt, and swayed back and forth and slurred her speech while she was talking to them.
This is my daughter.
The Department of Children and Family responded to take custody of the child. Elliott has since been released from jail after posting a $2,500 bond. So she is 35 years old. She left her 7-year-old daughter in the car while she goes boozes it up. She's barefoot. She's dirty. She's coming up to so what time is it? Hello. My kid's in the car. Mike Calta, hot or not?
This is not hot.
You say not hot.
There's no way she could be hot.
Not hot.
I don't know. No, I say not hot.
All right,
No way.
Gia, what do you think?
The Perfect Spot sounds like the diviest of dive bars.
Bearded clam.
right.
Just gross.
And it's a Sunday night, 3 a.m.
yeah, it's just smoky old gross dive bar. She is not hot.
You say not hot.
No way.
Spanish, what do you got?
Dude, the hottest chicks are doing terrible things to their kids.
This is true. That is
yeah,
true.
bro. Like
That is true.
She's
it's
hot.
almost a prerequisite at
All
this
right.
point. Yeah.
Carmen, what do you got?
Yeah, I'm with Spanish. She's just she doesn't know that she's hot. but
Just a
she's hot.
mess.
Yeah.
All right, so we're split
You
down the
think she
middle.
doesn't know? I don't know. She's like, is it gonna buy me a drink?
Yeah.
Well,
Hot.
I think she's like the hottest girl in that town.
Why is it so fun to talk drunk?
I don't know,
yeah.
but
You
it is.
guys want to buy me a drink?
Yeah,
This is so fun.
You shut up.
You shut up. You shut up.
I left my
I'm
kid.
going to bet on the sports at the Hard Rock.
So Mike and Gio say not,
Not
hot.
hot, not
Spanish and Carmen both say hot. Pap, show the picture. Here's Veronica.
Yeah, she's
That's
hot.
Yeah.
That's hot.
She's hot. Look at them lips.
Yeah.
She's hot.
That's hot for Deland.
And
Yeah.
she's drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Drunk to land, mugshot
Yeah.
hot.
And
yeah.
she loves her kids.
Yeah, that's Deland 9 right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oof.
I'll
She
take
got-
it.
Yeah, she got Sue-colored hair. Let's
Hey, man,
check
you
her out.
left your kid in the car. She's got an iPad.
Yeah.
She's playing Roblox.
It's unlocked.
Yeah. She can get out anytime she wanted.
If it was locked, she.
I mean, she's not hot. She got hot hair though.
She has hot hair that makes her hotter, and she's hot for the game.
She definitely needs a conditioning treatment though.
Yeah.
But she's also drunk. Remember that this is a mugshot. Think about her like before she got to the bar.
She's sobering
She
up.
doesn't
just
look
got
like
to
she has
jail.
her makeup on either. Yeah.
I'm not
Put a
mad at
little
her.
concealer on.
Would you bang her if you met her at the Bearded Clam? What was the place called? The Perfect Circle.
Perfect spot.
Perfect
Yeah.
circle.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh,
Love
yeah.
that band.
I'd put it in the Perfect Circle.
Any day. Yeah.
That's like a hookup in the parking lot type
Yeah.
shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
easily.
Tell
Yeah.
the kid to move
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
Don't look away from your iPad.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. That one's hot. We have some death pool news.
What?
Legendary and controversial Indiana basketball coach Bobby Knight died yesterday
Wow.
at the age of 83. Now,
Looked awful.
looking to the death pool, we see that Mike Calta had picked him up a while back as an
In
emergency
April?
pick.
Yeah.
So, with his age, 83, and Hall of Fame points, College Basketball Hall of Fame, that gives you a total of 52 points, which brings your score to 366 points.
World champion.
30 points in front of Gio now.
Oh,
Yeah.
not
Mike-
over though.
Mike Kelta has taken the
Listen,
lead.
I told you. I've been saying I've been uncomfortable to be in the lead the entire time.
Dude, I'm going to tell you a couple of things. One, I forgot that I had Bobby Knight. I don't recall picking him up as the emergency pick at all. I don't know why I did that. I mean,
Because
something
there was rumors
must have
back
happened.
then that he was, not doing well.
Yeah. So there you go. I made the best of it, picked him up, and he delivered.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bobby Knight. He's throwing chairs at Jesus right now.
So current standings still with 0 points, the worst player I've ever seen, Tony Burton.
Who, by the way, was the one who let me know about Bobby Knight yesterday. He just texted me, "You got Bobby Knight," and I knew exactly what it meant. I was like, "Oh boy."
Spanish is next with 73 points. Then you have Papap with 85. Carmen has 104. I have 207. Now in second place is Gio with 336. And Mike Kelta, currently your leader for the death pool with 366 points.
Champion of the world. 300 what?
366.
So I'm 30-something points ahead of Gio?
30 points.
30 points. All right, I'll take it.
It's all those Mike Williams points.
Yeah, well, hey, look, next time, don't be so scared. I mean, I'd pick Ian if Ian went down. If I found out Ian went down with a stroke or something, I'd put him on the list in a second.
Once I read the story about his daughter, I
Oh,
couldn't
no.
do it.
I'm sorry, Mike. You're, 30 points. Yeah, 30 points ahead of
You
Gio.
sure? I'm going to need somebody to double check
Yeah,
that
no,
one.
336 plus 30
Oh, okay.
equals 366
Yeah.
is what you have.
30
Listen,
points.
I remember Joe claimed victory very early last year.
Yeah.
The day, even up to the day of.
It was.
Now, how are we doing this? Everybody bringing cash to the winner? The day?
I will do whatever you want. Whoever wins, I will do cash or if you want Venmo or whatever. But I will pay the day of because I pay my bets and I expect people to pay their bets.
Joe, what's going to happen
Oh,
on the
Jesus.
day?
What do you mean? What's gonna? What do you mean, Michael? What do you think is gonna happen?
And you have to pay the winner, whoever that turns out to be.
I'm gonna pay the winner.
He's going to give you Tony's money and his money that he tried to keep.
I'll make a nice IOU. Don't worry.
IOU?
Oh
Did-
no! I'm just
Michael, you're set because he's been scoping out some sunset places these past
I'm not
couple
going to the
weeks.
sunset.
Yeah.
I want
he's
cash
gonna
on the barrelhead.
Blow your mind with some of
I'm
these
not only want
views.
blowing my mind. I don't want
I'm
anything
just saying.
blown.
He's
I
going
want,
to give you a couple sunsets, 9 of your sun's shirts back,
no.
very nice.
I want cash on the barrelhead
2
if I win.
VCRs that he's not using anymore.
Yeah.
Joe was dancing last year every day,
I
talking
was.
about what he was going to do with all the money.
Yeah.
Oh, he had
I had
all
to
kinds of
cancel
stuff
Christmas.
picked out. Yeah.
It's spent.
Christmas was canceled last year.
That's why him and the last girlfriend broke up. He took the engagement ring back. He's
Yep.
like, you can't have it.
Now, let me ask you this, Joe. Since you got Sugarface a sunset for her birthday, have you been putting any money away for Christmas?
Oh,
Are you
yeah,
getting her a Christmas
Calvin,
gift?
Yeah, yes, I have. Thank you.
I mean, it's a normal question to ask.
Yeah, that's a normal answer. Yes, I am.
How
I
about this?
felt like you were being sarcastic.
How about this?
Okay.
I've already got Galvin's birthday gift.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
I've already got my wife's birthday gift.
Yeah.
They have similar birthdays.
Yeah.
And then that's it. Nothing for Christmas.
Are we going to, when should we pick to for the show?
Yeah, we got to do that.
I'd prefer to do it sooner than later.
Yeah, that way you can figure
have-
out what you
We
want.
usually do it before Thanksgiving break.
Yeah.
like our
I'd like to have some time.
show. By the way, do you know that Monday is a radio station Thanksgiving party?
This Monday?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I think I saw something a while back.
Yeah, I don't.
I
That's
can't
in
go
the
to that.
email.
I'm not invited to that kind of stuff.
I can't go.
No,
What do you mean
all
you're not
staff.
invited? It's in your email.
I don't.
Carmen, are you going?
All staff. If you're not going, I'm not going.
Why? What does that have to do with anything? I'm not your boss. John Brennan is.
Oh yeah, then I'm not going.
Anytime I get an email from John Brennan, I do not trust it. It tells me
No.
I'm getting phishing scams.
Yeah.
So you think
Listen,
I'm going to
mate.
open a Thanksgiving email?
I
No
spent-
way.
I report every email as a phishing
So do I.
email.
Oh.
I spent an hour yesterday doing
God.
this
Oh.
thing that they wanted us
That
to
was
do.
unbelievable, right?
And then I got an email from Cox saying, because I opened a prior email, I now have to take another email. I said, you know what?
No way.
I'm not. I'll never use your email again. I don't care.
And I took that class, and I feel like all it did was teach me how to sexually harass people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring it.
It didn't teach me not to. It just showed me ways to get around
Right.
it and
Yeah.
do it appropriately.
Bring it, Carmen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I got an email from John Brennan that turned out to be a fake John Brennan
Yeah.
email.
Yeah.
And that I would have no way of knowing. And I didn't click on any links. I just opened the email, and now you have to go to email class. I'm like, I'm not going to email class.
That's why I'm not going to Thanksgiving. I
Yeah.
don't trust it.
If they make me take email class, I'm taking it at 9:00 on the air, and I'm sitting here the whole time doing it live while we're doing it. I'm not. It's ridiculous. I had to stay here for an hour to do those. The other thing we did yesterday.
Yeah, the videos are
Yeah,
so good.
my wife's like, we have to leave. I go, I'm sorry, I'm in the middle of training right now. Training.
Yeah.
It said one of the choices was the company just makes you do this so that they can cover their asses.
Yeah.
And I know, yeah,
Yeah.
we all believe that that's the truth.
Totally.
Whatever the real truth is, we all think that that's it.
Some other
Like, you
jerk off messed up, and now we all suffer.
Right.
And like, you shouldn't have to sit through the videos. You should have the option of just taking the quiz.
Yeah,
what
common
I mean?
sense answers.
Right.
Hey, you
Right.
should be able to tell Valerie her ass looks great. No, that's not right.
Yeah.
You should be able to tell another guy or ask another guy if he's gay. No, that's probably not right.
Valerie's ass does look great.
Yeah.
It does, yeah.
Or you should point out what a great job a woman does when she says something. You should back
No,
it up.
wrong. No.
Good job, Carmen. I agree with you. What you said, those points you made were correct.
Actually, not true,
Yeah.
because there was a section in there that said, because lately a lot of men don't feel comfortable being alone with a female coworker.
Yep.
Yeah.
Especially
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know.
Well, guess what? That's not right. I want to be alone with all of you.
Yeah,
Whoa.
I know.
Carmen knows how to get around the sexual harassment thing. Yeah.
Carmen, we've all been alone with you one time or another where you're like, it doesn't matter. Just give me a kiss. And it makes us feel very
No,
weird.
Not true.
Yes, you do. You're like,
That
I
was
just want to see
Spanish.
if you feel anything.
Listen, there was one time Carmen jumped into my arms in the hallway.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was crying and I was sad. And thank you for that, Gio. That was the one time
There-
you weren't a drag.
There was the one time I was laying on the couch in the office, and Carmen laid with me, and we snuggled, and it was magical.
Yeah.
It
You're
was
welcome.
magical.
You
I
guys
felt-
are missing out. I have so many of those times with Carmen, drunk or sober.
Yeah, but it's like you're like two twin little babies
Yeah,
doing it.
it is
Me, it
nice.
was like a father-daughter
Oh,
hug.
okay.
I felt harassed.
Yeah, like a father-daughter
You know
hug
what, Gio?
from X-Hamster.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They kept saying that they also pointed that sometimes women can also be the aggressor
Yeah.
in sexual
That's
harassment.
very
Yeah.
true,
What?
Carmen.
Yeah.
But often it's not.
yeah, and Kelly, we know about it.
Yeah.
Two things. One, whenever Carmen and I were in the studio and you guys were over here, we used to just sit there naked and draw each other.
Yeah.
And then
Samesies.
and then also in meetings, whenever a woman says something, I go, "That's a good answer for a woman."
no.
Right? No, yeah. I'm pointing out she's a woman.
Right,
And that was
it's a great answer. We don't normally expect great
right.
answers
It was
from
on the
women.
quiz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got it right.
I'll be at the luncheon.
According to that, we're not allowed to tell Scott he's gay anymore.
No,
Oh.
we can't. Yeah, and you can only comment on how a woman looks if she's going to an event after.
Oh.
By
A
the way-
wedding.
Yeah,
Or
yeah,
the wedding,
I've
yeah.
never said Scott is gay. I say open mouth Sally is super.
Uh,
yeah,
super.
yeah.
I don't know who that is.
Super.
It's a character that I have. Joe plays him. Who's going to see it? The Heart of Rock and Roll, a musical based on the music of Huey Lewis and the News,
wow. I'll go.
begins previews on Broadway in March.
I'd go to that.
Yeah, right?
So we're talking about doing a New York trip at some point, and I want to go and I want to see the Back to the Future.
I hear mixed
play.
things about
I
it.
hear
though.
terrible things about it,
Yeah.
but I still want to see it.
Yeah.
Back to the Future means a lot to my family.
It looks cool.
Joey's favorite movie. I like it. Juliana will learn to like it.
That's it. So Joey likes it and you like it.
Everybody likes.
That's
Who
a
doesn't
lot.
like Back to the Future?
I love Back to the Future.
It didn't sound like your wife liked it.
We don't. Her opinion
I
doesn't
just
matter.
don't
She's
know.
a woman.
Broadway is the way to go.
No.
Speaking of ladies, comedian Taylor Tomlinson, known for her Netflix specials, has been tapped to host the CBS talk show series After Midnight, which Stephen Colbert serves as producer on.
Perfect.
It says it draws its inspiration from the social media-based game At Midnight, which was on Comedy Central from 2013 to 2017.
What was
Is that
that?
the one that Chris Hardwick?
Yeah.
Where you give points? and
That
do
was actually
That was a
pretty good.
Show.
It was,
That was a
yeah.
good
So this
show.
is a game show.
It says it draws inspiration from it. So I don't know. The show will fill the 12:30 a.m. slot previously held by the Fat Elf.
She should replace Colbert.
The Fat Elf was good. Wait, which one was the Fat Elf? Corden?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think Corden's better than Colbert. I really
Yeah,
do.
I think they're both awful.
Yeah.
Corden did stuff.
That's the only thing. His
Corden
carpool
jumped out of a plane
karaoke-
with Tom Cruise.
I mean,
Yeah, but what I'm saying is Corden had a real show. Colbert
All
is Colbert is spitting
Yeah.
out political stuff in between interviewing actors who are the same
Can't deny
mind
that.
of his.
can't deny that.
I will tell you that I have seen Colbert's show like twice. I think whenever it first started, I was like, all right, let me see who's doing it. It was awful. And then I've seen clips of somebody who I like that is on his show, and it's awful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, that's not my thing at all. I don't care about his political views. It's just you can't do a whole show based on politics unless you're doing a political show, and it turns half the people off.
Which is crazy because I like Stephen Colbert. Strangers with Candy was great, and then also his
The Daily Show stuff was
yeah,
good.
he
yeah.
was great on there. But
Yeah.
now it's just ugh.
Yeah, I've never watched. I don't watch Seth Meyers. I don't watch any of that stuff, and I say that like it's a big deal because I loved late night TV.
Oh, yeah.
I loved Joan Rivers. I loved Johnny Carson. I loved David Letterman. I loved it all, and I loved Conan O'Brien from day one. And now I just I don't even watch any of it.
Now they don't even go for the whole point is to get YouTube clicks.
Yeah.
To clip their show. They don't even
Because
worry about people watching it.
What they have now is the ability for people to find it after the late night spot. So
Yeah.
even Jimmy Fallon lives mostly on the internet. I've never watched Jimmy Fallon a lot, not never, but I don't watch the Tonight Show. But I've seen plenty of clips online, and I think they do a great job. It's still goofy for me, a little silly, but it's aimed at mainstream America. And it goes over very well with them. I love the things that they do, like when they play the little kid instruments with real bands. I thought that was a good idea. He does karaoke and stuff with real famous actors. That kind of stuff. Those guys out of their elements, always fun.
I would think out of all the hosts that are out now, they're all pretty mediocre. Fallon's probably the best. Out of
Galvin,
that
I'm going to
group.
go around the room. Okay, we'll go all the way around clockwise. If you were the late night talk show host, who is your band?
Okay.
Like, but you can't be like Slayer because Slayer will not appeal to anybody. I mean, other
tell
than
me how
Slayer
to run
fans.
my show.
I'm the executive producer of the show.
All right, who are you starting with?
You.
Well,
I
you
said
said-
Galvin. We go start with you and go clockwise.
Oh, okay.
That's what I said.
But you said we were going to go kind of.
But you can't
So
be
say
Slayer.
clockwise.
All right, so I am and I can have any band that I want.
Any band that would be an appropriate late night band, but yes, you can
You're
have.
putting parameters on me.
Yeah.
Well, I'm telling you.
God, that's a difficult.
You can pick any band you want. It's your show.
Yeah. Listen, I'm not thinking Slayer or Zeppelin or anything like that. I'm trying to think of who would be a fun, cool band to have. That would be. I would want something good, funky, could play everything. Like if I'm picking my band leader or actual band.
Well, you could pick a band leader too, and then he could put the band together if you think that's something. Like, I'm not going to pick this, but I will tell you, I always said that if I had a late night talk show, Ronnie D would be the leader of
Right.
my band. He
Yeah.
would put together a whole slew of great, instrumentalists, and we'd have a great band. It'd be funky and it'd be fun.
So I can take any band.
Yes.
All right, I'm going Foo Fighters. I'm going Foo Fighters because Dave Grohl is good, and
Yeah.
we'd be able to talk back and forth. We'd be able to do skits with all those guys.
Yeah, you're
and
right.
Stuff.
Dave
They'd
Grohl
be
is
able to play
great.
all kind of great stuff. I think that'd be good.
Okay, Spanish.
Wolfpack.
Who?
VULFPECK.
I didn't say spell it. I said who.
Wolfpack.
What is Wolfpack?
They're a band. They play like funk, soul, jazz,
They're a band.
blues. Yeah.
Okay,
they're
that makes
very
sense.
good.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah. They all got good sense of humor. They all are incredible musicians.
They're a band. They check the box.
Yep.
All right.
They
Gio?
all live.
I don't even. Oh, Sister Hazel. I have no idea.
dude.
Every night, every break. Finally, I figured it out. All right, we're going to take a break. Finally, I figured it out. Hey, we're back. Finally, I figured it out. One song, Hazel.
I mean, you'd want like a front man that like Dave Grohl is a great.
Right.
Dave Grohl would be great.
I already have it.
Yeah. So like
What
him-
about like if there was
Are
somebody
you
by the
saying
name of
you'd
Fred?
like to offer Dave Grohl more money to be your back?
Yeah.
Nope.
I would have Travis Barker from Blink 182 and build a band around him.
That's good.
That's
gotta
great,
tell
too.
you,
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, that's terrible.
Why?
You ever see him in interviews?
Well, but he brings the Kardashians on my show all the time, though, and I get a big lot of
Sure.
ratings.
But he's a mush.
Yeah.
Would you go the route of just creating a band like with all women? Not you. I'm just
Me?
in general. Like
No, women
like
can't play.
they play good for women.
Yeah, I mean, we're
like
a good band.
Like the Roots, all black dudes, well, except one white guy, but all black dudes. But Jimmy Fallon liked them and knew that they'd be entertaining. So I know who I would pick, and it's not as good musically, but would be fun to have. I would have P-Lander Z for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be great.
You could do the all-girl band. Would be like Josie and the Pussycats. What was her name? That didn't know who the vice president was. Chaz Bono.
Yeah.
You get someone like her
I
on
wouldn't.
that.
If I had an all-girl band, they'd be all rock.
By
Yeah.
the way, that's
I don't know what their band
The
is.
Pussycat
the
Dolls.
Pussycat Dolls,
Dolls.
not Josie.
Josie and the
I forgot
Pussycat
her
Dolls.
name.
I combined the two.
Schlesinger.
Yes.
No.
No, that's Eliza
Scherzinger.
Yes.
Scherzinger.
Yeah.
Scherzinger.
What's
So
her
hot.
first name?
Lady.
Lady Scherzinger. Nicole
Nicole.
Scherzinger.
Yeah. You get her on it. You have her every night there with you.
Who made Sweet Love to Dane Cook? We can ask him
Yeah.
about that because he won't be on the show today.
By the way, I love how many times he said that I have to have a band that appeals to people, and he's putting parameters on me, and then he gets an Asian band from outer space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what
No
I meant was like I was trying to say you can't pick a band that is a current band right now, like the Foo Fighters, except for the fact that the Foo Fighters have Dave Grohl, who's so comical and so great. If you can land the Foo Fighters, take them.
Right.
Yeah, I think
and
that'd be
can
great.
play everything, and you have Pat Smear for weird stuff too, and that'd be great.
I would if I were to design my show around anybody's previous show, it would be old school late night 12:30 David Letterman, and I would have P-Lander Z just there for the fun. Like, what if you come back from breaking your band's doing pyramids while they play? That's awesome.
Yeah.
You can't let. So that would be that or the Paper Stanleys. My two choices.
Oh, that would
All
be,
right.
I made a joke about it earlier, but now really thinking about it, I think Limp Bizkit and Fred Durst would be fantastic.
Oh man, if I have to see that every night,
Dude, think about-
50-year-old guy with his hat on backwards.
Think about his attitude when he played live and
the
how much
costume.
of a joke he knew that was all, and now you get that every night on the show.
And now you get him dressing up as a cowboy.
Yeah,
and an old
all kinds of
man
fun
and-
stuff. The band's great with Wes Borland on the guitar.
It sounds like the best show ever.
Dude, I'm just saying, it was a joke at first, but now I would watch that.
Yeah, well, it's a good thing you don't have a
I'll
show.
call him. Yeah.
Plus, you can do that. You can do this. You can go. Whenever you come back, you go. What do you think about that, Limp Bizkit?
It's true.
Limp
It's true.
Bizkit. Limp Bizkit.
I'm in.
Joe,
Joe?
do you have one?
I think I would probably go with somebody like Bootsy Collins. I think
Bootsy would be
I'd-
fun.
I think
Yeah.
I'd go funk.
Old school funk.
Yeah.
Because then you could ask Bootsy stuff, and he'd go, "Oh yeah."
Yeah. Right. He's got
Would be
crazy
great
glasses.
if you can build a band around Bootsy. Sure, that'd be
Yeah.
awesome. And the same thing with guys who are great frontmen or a great drummer, and then you just build a band around them. Sure, that'd be great.
Carmen, Bieber, who you got? Who you got? Drake.
Well, no, they're not really bands and
True.
or musicians.
Terrible.
Yeah. No, I was going through my Spotify playlist and I just went all the way down and I stopped. And the band that I came on is Alabama Shakes.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
That'd actually be pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's who I came up with.
I like Alabama Shakes.
I watched the preview
Too fat
for.
for TV.
Easy.
That's why everything shakes.
Very inclusive, though. Very inclusive.
That's true, but I mean, come on, you can't be heavy.
And they make me look small.
You can be fat if you're singing. If you look at Jelly Roll and
Yeah, Lizzo.
and
Yeah, I
what's the
guess.
other Fast Cars guy, Luke Combs.
Yeah,
if you
that's
can
true.
if you can sing well, you can be fat.
But that's just new, though. That just started.
No, it used to be only if you were fat and black and you could sing.
Yeah.
Ann
You get away with
Wilson.
it.
Ann Wilson.
True.
Fat. Could
Yeah,
sing.
yeah.
Although everybody at the company was like, you got to lose some weight. I mean,
Yeah.
look at your sister.
That's
Look
why
at
you
your
didn't talk to the sister.
I mean, Jelly Roll embraced it. I'm Jelly Roll.
Yeah.
Big fat guy.
So what do we decide? How are we pronouncing Nate Bargatze? Nate Bargatze.
Nate Bargatze is how you're supposed to say it.
Did you see Nate Bargatze got the highest ratings for SNL since
he deserved it.
since they had Martin Short and Steve Martin host.
No.
Yeah, he got the highest ratings out there. Yeah,
It's weird that it seems like Nate Bargatze, it's like everybody kind of knew who he was, but nobody really knows how much. Nobody ever talks about how much they love him.
Yeah.
Like it's just like he all of a sudden they're like, oh yeah, Nate Bargatze, and then he does Saturday Night Live and it has huge ratings. He does an arena tour and it sells out, but nobody was sitting around going, you know what I love that Nate Bargatze. It's just he came out of nowhere.
I think it's those Netflix specials. Like I think a lot of people watch that.
His
stuff.
last Netflix special, the
Yeah.
one they filmed outside, wasn't that great.
Yeah.
And it was because of the pandemic and all that, and it just wasn't that great. But
that wasn't his last one.
well, whatever that
He has a-
one
yeah.
did. He's very funny. He's very funny, and I think that I love the fact that these comedians are getting their day in arenas and stuff. And Nate Bargatze is still so humble that it's great to see him have all the success. Like, you're
He had
happy for him.
4.9 million viewers, which was the most since December 10th of last year. Which
I
was
watched it
Martin
twice.
Short and Steve Martin.
Yeah, I watched it twice. I thought it was great. I thought the skits were great. I mean, how many times you walk away from Saturday Night Live in the last 20 years and go, God damn, those skits
Yeah,
are funny.
yeah.
You don't really get that. You get one or two per night. These were, I would say, 80% was great.
How far away do we think Bert is from hosting Saturday Night Live?
Oh, my God. I didn't even think of that.
I don't know. I mean,
Are you saying because is Nate bigger than Bert?
well
right
and,
now.
And if you look at that and go, holy crap, look at the numbers Nate did. Let's get some more of these guys in here.
Yeah,
But
I
there
mean,
is.
they're
yeah, I mean,
comparable to me. I would assume they're both doing arena shows. They're both. I mean,
I'm telling you right now, Bert cracks in every
Every
sketch,
sketch.
Oh, yeah.
and Lauren kills him.
Yeah.
yeah.
Although they kind of like that now. Ever since Jimmy Fallon, they like it. That used to be the big you can't break during a sketch. They did not like that at
I
all.
used to say that Lauren would go, we could ask Colin about this, but Lauren would go, we're not the Carol Burnett show.
Yeah.
Because Nate doesn't have a movie,
No.
so Bert's actually been done acting.
Yeah.
Like I would say, he's almost more qualified to host the show.
Yeah. Pitch him.
Yeah.
Pitch him.
All right, I'll let
Let's
him
see
know.
what
happens.
I'll call it today.
I think the problem with Bert is like Letterman's obsessed with Bert because he takes his shirt off.
Yeah.
And I think to some people, Bert taking his shirt off
Is
is a
it.
gimmick.
Yeah, and that's the only thing he does.
Right.
If he did host SNL, he can't not take the shirt off in the monologue.
Oh,
No,
right.
you
like
have
that's
to.
the first thing he does.
And people don't like Bert. Bert's become popular for his drinking and his shirtless and his partying, but people forget Bert's a funny ass comedian.
Yeah.
Bert is very funny, and I loved Bert when he was still wearing a shirt. When I first saw him the first time, he was just telling jokes, and I remember his jokes from the first day. He talked about what it was like to touch a black guy's hair for the first time. He talked about what it was like to go to a bitchy girl's house when she has a party, and then she's mean to you, and then you realize that she has a toothbrush and you brought your balls. I remember all Bert's jokes. He's the first time I saw him, it was so goddamn funny, and then you mix in the laugh on top of it. But I just think because Bert's been such the partier and such the opposite of Segura, that he's become known for that. So I don't know if that gets Saturday Night Live's attention, but I would think it would be huge for them, especially
Yeah.
with the Bargatze numbers.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know who picks these people, and I don't know who picks the musical acts, because sometimes you're like, oh my God, Foo Fighters, great, and then the next week they're like, and Mrs. Mabel's Pies.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
well, they usually try and like be on the cutting edge of stuff. You
Yeah.
know, they'll get big acts, but they'll also get like ones that are about to break, and they kind of make them. You
Yeah.
know, or
Yeah.
they used to, anyways.
Sometimes with like a new album's about to drop, they'll
Yeah.
also have the artist.
Well, hey, look, I would love to see Bert host Saturday Night Live.
That'd be
I
great.
think Bert would love it.
I think it's definitely possible. He's
Well,
right.
yeah.
You know.
Alan Ruck from Ferris Bueller's Day Off and Succession crashed his truck into a Hollywood pizza shop Tuesday night. They say no indication that he was under the influence, but police are investigating. to
He's
see
on
what's
his way
going
to
on.
Matthew Perry's house when it happened.
He was returning his dad's Ferrari.
Did you see a picture of the truck?
It's smashed.
It's literally inside the building.
Did they say why?
No, they
Like
didn't
how
give
it
a
happened?
But
reason.
it's like hanging outside like part of the building.
They speculate that he lost consciousness, like had a mini stroke or something.
Oh, really?
That's what
Well,
the
then
speculation
that's
was.
excusable, you
Yeah.
know?
I read a thing. Did you see where Brooke Shields had a grand mal seizure? This was, I guess, she revealed it in her book. Whatever.
Isn't that one of the Jedi Grand Maul Caesar? That sounds like a Jedi.
Grand Moff
thing.
Tarkin?
Yeah.
But she said she was like foaming at the mouth and everything. And Bradley Cooper happened to be, I think it was at a restaurant, and he happened to be there, and he rode to the hospital with her. and said,
Aw,
"What an
Bradley.
angel."
He
Such
really
an
is,
angel.
man.
Such an angel.
Yeah.
Have you seen that movie where he's the chef?
Yeah, yeah.
That's a good movie.
It is.
Yeah, it's a good movie. which I was surprised. I was like, what are we going to do here? But yeah, I thought it was good.
I liked it. Brooke Shields was foaming at the mouth. I had to lick it out of the corner of her mouth.
Hell
She's
yeah.
still gorgeous.
I don't know whether you know this or not, but they had a Nick Cage cameo in The Flash. Were you awake for that or no?
Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
As Superman in The Flash, Nick Cage is not happy about it because he says they used CGI to create the entire segment. He had nothing to do with it.
That is true.
But they didn't. They used CGI to take his prior pictures of him in the Superman outfit. So they only CGI'd put it in, but it's a real picture.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious. There's a scene in The Flash where they go through all the dimensions, and in each dimension they show the different Supermans. They show Christopher Reeves, they show Henry Cavill, they show
Spoiler.
they show them all. And then they show George Reeve. They show them all, and then they slip in the Nicolas Cage one, which is great. And then they do the same with the Jokers and the Batman. It's pretty cool. I think it's the best part of that movie.
But I understand why Nick Cage would be happy if nobody said anything to him, and now all of a sudden he's in this movie and he's not getting anything for it.
It was one of the biggest takeaways from that whole entire movie.
Okay, so but let me ask you a question. If you're Nicolas Cage, you don't really need the money, and you're like you're in it for 4 seconds, and you love Superman. Why don't you just go, that's pretty awesome?
Because that's not how the business works.
I know.
It is. I
pretty...
agree with you. And it hurts that you couldn't just do that. But, Nicolas Cage, I'm sure, knows that this is just one step.
If they
do this
put
and
Nicolas
then...
Cage in the Superman outfit and took pictures of it, they own those anyway.
Correct.
Yeah.
So then shut up, Nicolas Cage.
But I also think that Nicolas Cage may need the money because he's still paying off all his tax stuff and he has to do everything that they ask him to do.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of stuff.
He's
still.
like, all right, I'll
Stop
do
buying
it.
islands.
Yeah. What's that, Karen?
From what?
A tax evasion.
Yeah.
He didn't pay his taxes, and he had so that's why you see him in so many movies. Like he'll be in great movies, and then he'll be in movies that go straight to video.
Right.
No
So
one
he
made
just takes
more.
as much work as.
Yeah.
No one made more straight-to-video movies than Bruce Willis.
That is so sad. It really is so sad. Those last 20 movies he did were all
It
straight
might
to
be
DVD.
50.
Yeah,
It
you're
might
right,
be 50.
actually.
There's so many movies that you could see that Bruce Willis made that you never saw any of them. I don't know. I mean, I don't know where he found the time to make all those movies. It's insane.
Finally, in news, Campbell's Soup released its annual Thanksgiving poll on America's favorite side dishes. Okay, so the sides. What do you think for number one? You say stuffing?
Yeah.
Everybody agree with that?
Yeah.
No.
What do you
Mac
say?
and cheese.
Mac and cheese?
Mashed potatoes.
Green bean casserole.
I can tell you all of those that you just named are in the top 5. Gio is correct. Number 1, mashed potatoes.
Boo.
Number 2 is stuffing.
Okay.
Number 3, Carmen, mac and cheese.
Okay.
Number 5, you said
Green bean casserole.
green bean casserole. I love it. I love it. We're missing number 4. What's number 4?
Sweet
The
potato
side.
casserole.
What's that?
Sweet potato casserole.
Not casserole, just sweet potatoes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sweet
that's
potatoes in there, yeah.
Cranberry.
No, we're done with the top 5.
We got it.
All right.
Now I'm starving is all I did.
That is the same 5 as last year, but stuffing moved up from 4th to 2nd. Mac and cheese moved from 5th to 3rd. 67% of Americans like Thanksgiving sides more than the entree, so turkey or ham or some sort of nut loaf if you're vegan or whatever. I don't know what you're doing. It also found 60% of adults will celebrate Friendsgiving this year.
We are.
Yeah, we're doing Friendsgiving.
Do you know that's next weekend?
Yeah.
I didn't. I did, but I didn't realize it was next weekend.
Yeah.
We are at the Stockyard in Holiday next weekend for a Bone Friendsgiving. It'll be us, Roger, and JP. It'll actually probably be most of the people from the radio station, whoever's available, and not. I don't even think JP is going to be in town, but Roger and Brett will be there. It starts with the liquid lunch on Friday, then the pub crawl on Friday night. Then we're out there at the Stockyard the next day, and we're going to be giving you prizes. It'll be you come out, see Pitbull Toddler play, and in between, we're giving away prizes to you just for coming there and being listeners.
Friendsgiving / my birthday.
Oh,
yeah.
Celebrate my birthday that weekend.
I already bought the gift.
Yeah.
Let's celebrate.
I'm ready to go.
All right, good.
There you go. That is it for news.
All right, we got to take a break tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Tickets for our Naughty and Nice shows, our Calta Christmas Extravaganza. 2 shows on December 16th go on sale. It's all brought to you by our friends at Stingray Chevrolet and Bud Light. We will give you that information tomorrow morning and let you know how to get the tickets at theboneonline.com. They go on sale promptly at 10, and I'm telling you right now, the Naughty show will sell out in a matter of minutes. So if you're thinking about going, do not wait. And then the Nice show will sell out, I would say, probably by Monday. That's just how it's going to go. It's not a very big place, of the Floridian Social Club, the former State Theater. And I think it's really going to be a fun time. Lynn Koplitz is there headlining both shows. Matt Fernandez is there performing. We have special guests, surprises, songs, musicians. It's going to be it's a Christmas extravaganza, December 16th, brought to you by our friends at Stingray Chevrolet. And thanks to Stingray Chevrolet and Steve Hurley for all the love and support he always gives the show. He's a great guy. We must take a break. Martin Gramatica will join us in the 8 o'clock hour. Colin Quinn in the 9. It's the Mike Calta Show. This is 102.5 The Bone. On the Mike Calta Show, it's 102.5 The Bone. 727-579-1025 or 800-771-1025. My friends at Walsh Roofing Services will put a roof on your home if you need it. They did the roof on this house. They did my dad's roof. That's how much I trust them and how much I recommend them to other people that they went and did my dad's house. And if you're thinking about getting a new roof and you're wondering who to call and who to trust, call Walsh Roofing Services. And if you have a roof and you're thinking about getting solar because you want to save on that electric bill that we were talking about earlier, walshroofingandsolar.com. They can come on out there and they can put some solar panels on your house. They can tell you how much money you could save per month. And in the long run, save a ton of money because you get rebates for your taxes at the end of the year. walshroofingandsolar.com. They can give you a free estimate and get you on track to saving money a month. I bet people are just getting killed with electric bills. And this is a perfect way for us to lower that bill. WalshRoofingandSolar.com. Now that microphone stinks. Now we can hear it. Sorry, we're trying to test that microphone. Pull it right up. Say hi, Martine.
Hello.
Yeah,
good morning.
All right, that's good. So maybe I just lower it a little. Martine Gramatica is here with us. So many things to talk to you about. One is that I saw that yesterday. Yesterday, you were nominated for what? The Veterans Award? What is that? What is the name of it?
Salute to Service.
Salute to Service. And that is because of the amount of work that you and your brothers do with the Gramatica Family Foundation for the veterans. Correct?
Yes, and I was surprised because they can choose active players. This is the first time they opened it up to former players and staff as well. So yeah, I was surprised, but excited, obviously.
Well, I mean, really, what you guys do is a very selfless thing. I mean, when you choose to spend all of your dedication and time to help somebody else out, it doesn't really benefit you in any way. You're just giving back, and the fact that you're being recognized for that, I think, is nice. You've always been great for the community. I've seen some of these. I've met some of these veterans from your events and other events and stuff. And if ever we should be helping somebody out, it's people who've sacrificed their bodies and their lives and their time away from their family so that we don't have to.
Right. Our first recipient spoiled us for life, because he's the most amazing. He lost both legs in Afghanistan. Yeah. And he's always happy.
I know.
He's never complaining. And I'm thinking, like, if I was.
Do you think that's because he's like, I lost both my legs, but I'm still here. I'm still alive. Or if he's just like, hey, look, I could still live a great life.
Well, he mentions that in one of the interviews that he did that he lost his best friend in that bombing.
Right next to him. Yeah.
So he's like, I have to live for my best friend. So it would be, he's not here. I'm here, even though I don't have my legs. I'm still here. So I think that now he's married. Has just had a baby boy. So I mean, his life, he's making the best of it without any complaints. And he's part of the family now. Every time I see Charlie, I mean, my kids see Charlie. He's just an awesome guy.
Also, he's probably happy that if he lost his legs, if he just had a baby, he's still got his action working up there. You know what I'm saying? That
would be harder to lose.
Right? I'm saying, you're like, what do we live for after that? Thankfully, though, that the way technology has come along, if you lost your legs, you can get leg replacements. You can do something like that. You could still function as a human adult. So good for him, man. But the idea of looking at these guys and appreciating them and thinking, like, I'm the first person to say I love the military because I'm too scared to be in the military. That's just it. I don't even like roller coasters, let alone wanting to go somewhere where they're bombing 2 feet away from you and your friends are dying. I'd be like, take me home. I would rather go to jail, I think, I would rather go to jail, not like in East LA, but like in Oldsmar. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'd rather go to jail than I think go to a wartime military facility.
And I go to the shooting range, and you'd love to shoot, but now you hear a shot coming off somewhere else where it distracts you.
Yeah.
I mean, you get scared. I'm like, where's it? Can you imagine being that where they're actually shooting at you?
No.
I mean, I agree with you, Mike. It's like it's something that, but it takes a special person to do it.
Yeah.
And to be able to just to say thank you. And what's crazy is they're always thanking us. And I'm like, there's no need. You've already done enough, So with Charlie, here's a perfect example of the type of guy he is. We do a 5K as well, and he does it with his wheelchair. And he lost a wheel on the front wheel. And I saw it, but I just kicked it to the curb thinking it was a stroller wheel, something just so nobody would roll their ankle. So when we finish, he comes back. He's like, "Yeah, man, I just did the whole thing without a wheel." I go, "Oh, man, I know where you're wheeling." But he didn't even stop and quit. Just like he kept going. But that's the type. I mean, just an awesome guy.
So you're telling me this guy did a 5K in a wheelchair without a wheel, and Gio won't run to the stop sign?
Come on, Gio, step up.
All right, I'm in. Let's do it in wheelchairs.
That might be better. We can both sit down. Martine is here. Martine, of course, works for Lifeguard Imaging now in this post-football career. And we've all gone into Lifeguard Imaging. We've all gotten scanned. And we are not the epitome of health, and none of us. Some worse than others. Me, 2,700, not 25, like I always say. But I have a friend, and I would like him to get scanned. But this is the big difference. So we would talk about this all the time. Remember Matt Rodriguez? We used to box with Matt.
Yeah.
How old is Matt? 60-something?
Yeah, back then, but it was in great shape.
In great shape.
Yeah.
So I wonder how he'll do if he gets scanned. Because he's in town, and he was like, I was thinking about getting scanned. I'm like, I definitely want you to get scanned because I want him to go. And I like this guy. He's a nice guy. He's in great shape. He boxes. But I want him to have a high score.
Oh.
And now let me tell you why. Godwin. For the sake of the people. Because I want you to be able to look at a guy like Matt, who is in great shape, has been working on his whole life, and go in there and still that they say, hey, you might have something, because it's not just the people that you think it's. It's not just the guys like me who go in there and get high scores.
No, and I had a firsthand experience my first week at Lifeguard.
Yeah.
I saw the fittest 65-year-old man I've ever seen. I mean, this guy, I looked at him and said, I want to look like him when I'm 65. He was ripped. He was a triathlete. He cycled 25 miles a day. I mean, just phenomenal shape. And when we got his score back, it was 4,000.
4,000?
4,000.
That's more than me.
Not more than you. But you look at him, you would never know. I mean, he was in shock because you would never know. But that's the thing. We want the patients to come in when they're feeling well, not when they have that first symptom. So that's where...
You don't need a scan. If you don't feel good, you already know you're not feeling good.
Something's going on, right.
Oh, I'm telling you, I have my... on Friday, I have another appointment with my cardiologist, of which I never would have gone to a cardiologist at 52 years old had I not gone and got scanned. So, and thankfully nothing that urgent, but we're keeping an eye on my blood pressure. We're checking it every once in a while. I can't speak enough about this because it really, you start feeling your mortality as you get older, certainly in your 50s. And if this could give you a little bit of handle on what's going wrong first, and you can beat it, and you can go back and get scanned the next year and say, hey, you went down. That's what you want.
And I think we always make the excuse of like, oh, it's for older people. It's for older. So if we're 50, the 60-year-olds get sick.
Yeah, no.
And
that's when it's too late.
Right. So I get a newsletter from college, and there usually it's like this guy did this or something positive, and then at times, who passed away.
Yeah.
And it used to be the players that played 5-10 years prior to me getting to Kansas State. Now I've had 3 teammates, 2 pass away with cancer and 1 with heart disease. So I'm thinking that we're at that age, which is crazy. We're at that age and the more we can check and the more we can have that peace of mind if everything's fine as well.
The idea that so many people are still dying from cancer, that we've been able to fix so many things and we can't get a hold on that, still blows my mind.
Well, the thing is, we can detect it early now,
right? Where
patients can have that better success of surviving it, and then with good quality of life. Because the thing we always say, the disease is horrible, but so is the treatment, chemo, radiation.
Yeah.
If we can catch it early, where the patient avoids that, I mean, it's huge.
Yeah. Well, look, lifeguardimaging.com is the the website address. We can go make an appointment, and I love Marvin Martine here, but I do like talking about Lifeguard because of the idea that I'm going to send somebody there that I love one day, and they're going to find an early something and save their life. They really are. And I know I told you I had a girl whose dad went in there after listening to the show, ended up having a triple bypass, met him, healthy as a horse now, but that was because he went there and got checked out. So lifeguardimaging.com to make your appointment, let them know you're a bone listener, and they take care of you over there. And get in there, get on the 5-year plan, and keep getting yourself checked out. Martine is here with us. We started a campaign, getmartinein.com. It is a website, getmartinein.com. It would cost nothing. We don't want anything from you. Just if you feel like we do, that Martine belongs in the Ring of Honor, you can go there and sign the petition. That's it. And I guess there's some follow-up emails and things that hey, well, we should do this. You can ignore them all. Just go there and sign the petition. That's all we're asking you to do. And yesterday, with Martine being recognized now, for the veterans, is one of those reasons why he should be in the Ring of Honor. A guy who played great for this team while he was here, and then also continues to be a proud member of our society here in the Tampa Bay area. I love that I love when you guys play here and stay here, and everybody gets to see you around town and stuff. That's exciting. When I grew up in New York, I didn't see nothing. I didn't see anybody.
Who would leave Tampa though? With this weather, why leave? Right?
This
the
weather
town.
is the only reason why I want to leave. It's too hot. But yeah, no, I know. And today it's beautiful out, and this is it. So, most people that come here do end up falling in love with it and stay for a long time.
Well, I want to thank, because my kids go on there and vote every day, I think. I don't know if
really?
they vote more than once.
Yeah.
So my daughter, everybody. But there's some messages as well and some videos. And one of them was, I guess, a guy's mom that used to wear my jersey. She's no longer here. She was
no kidding.
he's voting, so I appreciate all those nice messages as well.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen a couple of those too. A lot of people that say, what it meant during those times. I mean, think about all those years that this team stunk so bad. And then you guys came in and gave them, these Buccaneers fans, a reason to keep watching the games and get excited and buy jerseys and, really turn things around. So getmartinein.com. I texted you last week, and my son, who I think is pretty stupid, all of a sudden is getting into colleges, and the first one to write back was Kansas State, the home of Martin Gramatica.
Listen, I was excited when you texted me that, but I also let you know it's freezing out there.
That was the first thing you said. You were so concerned about the weather. You were like, "It's freezing." I remember you talked about that a bunch of times. He is a delicate flower too. I don't know that he's going to love the cold weather, but I don't know where he's going to go. So he's been holding out for FSU, and I don't know that he's going to make it in there or not. It's a very hard school to get into. But at least it's great for me to know as a parent that he's not as stupid as I thought he was. He's got some options. He got Colorado, he got Kansas State, and they were the first two to come right back and
but
say,
see, if he ends up at one of those schools, then he's not that smart because the weather is really bad.
Yo,
so I would tell him, listen, stay in Florida, stay close to home.
Listen, smart people like it cold too. I'm telling you.
That's true. Well, he'll be studying more. He won't be out partying.
That's true. That's true.
Well, see, for me it was worse. I didn't leave the dorm, so I didn't even get to go to class. It was so cold.
I would love it. I grew up where I had 4 seasons, but I would love to have, like I was saying earlier, I would love to live in a place where it snows a lot if I was rich. Like if I didn't have to mow my own, or plow my own driveways and all that stuff. Yeah, and you do not know what horror is until you've tried to drive a car on ice. Turn it one way, wheels go the other way. Miserable.
See, I had a little 318 stick shift car, right, when I went to college. And I remember like it was yesterday. I was getting stuck spinning out.
Oh.
And I had a police officer got behind the car pushing one of my teammates. That damn Florida boy. Like he started screaming at me. I'm like, hey, listen, man, I don't think you can drive this car.
I'm not used to it. What do you want from me?
But I had my Florida tag, so he was screaming at me just before being a Florida boy.
That's so
we don't drive in snow in Florida. What do you want me to do? Nice.
No, we've never had to change our tires. We're not put snow tires on, nothing. That's so funny. All right, well, we got football picks due, right, Carmen?
Yep.
All right. Sound so excited about it.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready to buy dinner. I already did my picks today. I told my wife, I said, I think I picked them all bad.
Well, how did Martine do last week, Carmen? Didn't he do decent?
Last week, yeah, he had 10 wins.
It's pretty good.
But our winners had 13 wins, so he didn't win. And I do want to just remind everybody, because Spanish doesn't have a win, and Martine doesn't have a win, but Spanish has 5 losses. But Spanish could still overcome Martine if he gets a win. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Right.
So I just want to keep that out there. So right now, Spanish is losing, but the second Spanish wins and Martine doesn't have a win, Martine, it goes to last.
Carmen, I just said I'm ready to buy dinner.
He's conceding.
Thank you for all that explanation.
If Martine is sitting there at the table watching us all eat, that is going to be so awkward. Like,
No,
people
not
are
for
like,
me.
Look,
I'm going to look right in his eyes.
I'm going to start a website, get Martine an appetizer.
Like, is that Gramatica just sitting at the table staring at these people while they eat?
Wouldn't you like to help Martine?
I'll wear a tux. I'll serve you. I deserve that if I lose.
That's going to be
so
awkward.
Have you heard from a lot of people about getmartinin.com? I mean, is the word spreading around pretty good?
I have. Yes. I get messages.
Yeah.
But also, I voted. Yes, so I did. I have heard a lot.
Yeah, I was just curious because it's going to take it's going to take a Sap or a Brooks or somebody to get a wind of it and retweet it, and then it's going to go insane. So
Yeah, so maybe we should tag Sap.
I'm just saying. All right,
Hey, he
Carmen.
got me in the Pro Bowl.
It's true. It's true.
He
did.
said that if
Yeah.
my kicker doesn't go, I don't go. So
Yeah.
I mean, Sap's got
I
a little
like
pull.
to take it, yeah. Well, it's so funny because when I told Sap that I wanted to do this, and I said, "Hey, let me tell you what I'm working on." He's like, "What's that?" I said, "I'm working. I think Martini." He goes, "Oh, I got you. I got you." And I don't really know what that means, but he's like, "I got you. I got you." I don't know if he's calling the commissioner or if he's calling the Glazers or what he's doing, but I got you. I got you. I was like, "Okay, good. He's got me." All right, ladies and gentlemen, Week 9 in the NFL. It's your football picks. Here we go. Do we have Ian's picks?
We do.
Yep, I got him.
Oh, you got him? Okay, good.
Yep.
Game 1, the Titans at the Steelers. We'll start with Joe, and we'll go clockwise around the room. Joe, Titans at Steelers.
I'm going Steelers, Michael.
Galvin,
Steelers.
Spanish.
Steelers.
Martine.
Titans.
Ooh. Gio.
Titans.
Carmen.
Titans.
Ooh, really? I take the Steelers on this one. The Dolphins at the Chiefs. I will take. Ooh, that's
From
they
Germany.
Last week.
In Germany,
Yeah. I'm gonna say. Oof. I'm gonna take the Dolphins. Martine.
Chiefs.
Gio.
Dolphins.
Wow. Spanish.
Dolphins.
Galvin.
Dolphins.
Pep.
Dolphins.
Interesting. Carmen.
Dolphins.
Vikings at the Falcons.
Martin.
Yes.
Oh, never mind. I got him.
Yep. All right. Good deal. Vikings at the Falcons. Gio.
Falcons.
Spanish.
Falcons.
Galvin.
I'm going Falcons.
Pep.
Falcons.
Martine.
Vikings.
I will take the Falcons. Carmen.
Falcons.
Gio, did you go already?
I did.
Yeah, but have you been doing Ian's?
Carmen has
I
that.
already
has
Oh,
have
them
you
all.
already have? Okay.
I have 'em right
Gotcha.
now.
Gotcha.
The Bears at the Saints. Spanish.
I am going with the Saints.
Gio.
Saints.
Martine.
Bears.
I will take the Saints. Carmen.
Saints.
Pep.
Bears.
Galvin.
Saints.
The Rams at the Packers. Galvin.
Packers.
Pep.
Packers.
Packers. Martine.
Rams.
Carmen.
Packers.
Gio.
Packers.
Spanish.
Packers.
Martine's picked the opposite of everybody else. For
That's why I think I'm either going to win by landslide or by dinner.
continue to slip into the abyss.
And he's picking a lot of the same ones that Ian picked as well.
Oh, really?
Just to throw that out there.
Good job, Ian.
Yeah. All right. Pep. Commanders at the Patriots.
Patriots.
I will take the Patriots too. Martine.
Patriots.
Carmen.
Patriots.
Gio.
Patriots.
Spanito.
Commanders.
The Seahawks.
I'll take the Patriots.
I'm
if you
sorry.
want to
Sorry,
know what I'm
Galvin.
doing over
Yeah.
here.
Seahawks at the Ravens. Martine.
Ravens.
My favorite team, the Ravens. Galvin.
Ravens.
Pep.
Ravens.
Carmen.
Ravens.
Gio.
Ravens.
And Spanish.
Ravens.
And what do you
The-
want?
Me?
Yeah.
My favorite team, the Ravens.
Okay.
Cardinals at the Browns. Carmen.
Browns.
Browns. Martine.
Browns.
Gio.
Browns.
Spanish.
I am going with the Browns.
Galvin.
Browns.
And Pappy.
Cardinals.
The Colts at the Panthers. I will take the Panthers. Martine.
Colts.
Carmen.
Colts.
Gio.
Colts.
Spanish.
Colts.
Galvin.
Colts.
Pep.
Panthers.
You and Pep.
Yep. Wish I could change that. The Giants at the Raiders. Galvin.
Raiders.
Anybody not taking the Raiders?
I'm taking the Giants.
Are you
Taking the
really?
Giants.
I'm taking the
Whoa,
Giants.
hold on. Spanish.
Giants.
Gio.
Giants.
Martine.
Raiders.
Carmen.
Giants.
Pep.
Giants.
All right.
They just fired their entire staff.
The Raiders?
Yeah.
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 But the Giants still stink.
All
It
right.
could go either way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Cowboys at the Eagles. Carmen.
Cowboys.
I take the Eagles. Martine.
Eagles.
Gio.
Eagles.
Galvin.
Eagles.
Spanish.
Eagles.
Pep.
Cowboys.
The Bills at the Bengals. Galvin.
I'm going to go Bills.
I am going to go Bills. Martine.
Bengals.
Spanish.
Bengals.
Carmen.
Bengals.
Joe.
Bengals.
Gio.
Bengals.
And the Chargers at the New York Jets, who tried to steal Mike Evans from us at the last minute in the trade deadline. Jerks. Carmen.
Chargers.
Martine.
Jets.
Wow. Gio.
Chargers.
Spanish.
Chargers.
Chargers. Pap.
Jets.
And Galvin.
Chargers.
And then finally, your last game of the week, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Texans. I start with Buccaneer fan Gio.
Texans.
And then I go, oh, really? And then I go to former Buccaneer, Martin Gramatica.
Bucks.
I, too, take the Bucks. Carmen.
Texans.
Pap.
Texans.
Galvin.
Texans.
Spanish.
Buccaneers.
And just for the record, Carmen, who did Ian take?
He took the Texans.
Ooh, not good.
We're circling the drain.
No, you know what's happening? Feeling the bake is what we're doing.
We're not going to get that 12 wins.
You never know.
Carolina beat them last week. The
Yeah,
Texans.
I'm not. The Texans aren't so strong. I think our Buccaneers are one game away from being like, we found it, we figured it out. But this team played 8 games together. 8 games. 9th game is where it happens.
Are you sure?
I hope
Is
you're
that
right.
right, Martine?
That's
Is
a saying.
That
Is that
is
what
that
you-
is the magic number.
Thank
Oh,
you.
okay.
See? He knows. There's 2 numbers in his life, 7 and 9. Those are the magic numbers. Jerks. Martine, thank you very much for getting up and coming in here today. Go to lifeguardimaging.com to make your appointment and go see Martine over there and get scanned. Yes, he's usually there when you go over there. And take an opportunity to take 5 minutes out of your day and go to getmartinein.com and vote for Martine Gramatica to get into the Ring of Honor. Something that is not up for vote. We created it, and then we're going to deliver the results, which are rapidly approaching 5,000 already, to the Glaciers and say, hey, for your consideration. That is available now. Martine, great to see you.
Thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
seeing you guys.
And we'll take a break. Colin Quinn joins us at the top of the hour. It's 102.5 The Bone.
It's the
Baby, here I am, I'm a man on the scene. I can give you what you want, but you got to come home with me. I've got some good old loving and I got some more in store.
It's the Mike Calta Show. It's 102.5 The Bone. Hey, you want to box tomorrow? Rodriguez says he got the boxing gym all open up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Same one or no?
No. But I'd love to get in there and just get punched by people.
Yeah.
Just get punished.
Have him show you where it is.
Mm-hmm.
This is where it is.
All right, thank you.
okay.
I do want to do it. I boxed for so long by myself. You know what I mean? I'd love to get in there, and I have no illusions about whether or not I could be a good boxer. I'm terrible, but I just like to do it, and I don't mind getting hit. So it's fun, especially Matt, because he's so good. He plays with you. He just lets you,
Right in the
he
bread
lets you
basket.
think you're getting it, and then just whack you in the face. Colin Quinn is making his way into the studio. I've been a fan of Colin's since high school when he was on Remote Control.
Yeah.
And he's done so much ever since. And now he's got a series of one-man shows that's been super successful. And he will be appearing at Ruth Eckerd Hall tonight. And I know he probably did not want to come in here today. So I can't tell you how much I appreciate him actually doing that.
We got the sing-along with Galvin from Remote Control from Colin.
100%.
Yeah.
Man. 100%. Colin was the first person to do that, where he'd sing a song, stop, then you have to sing the next lyric correctly. And if he did, you're right, and he was terrible at it.
Yeah.
Did Colin, and I may have asked him this, and I don't remember it, but I don't remember, seriously, did Colin ever bang any of the girls from Remote Control?
Oh, Kari Wurr.
Kari Wurr was the hot one.
Yeah.
Whatever
So was the other
happened to her?
one. The other, she did some.
They were
like,
all pretty hot.
Yeah. She did some like B movies and stuff, and
Yeah.
I don't think she did anything too popular.
She was hot. That show had Adam Sandler. Was Spade on there?
No, not that I know of.
It had Sandler. It had Ben Stiller.
Ken Ober.
Ken Ober was the host, yeah. Which Colin loves Ken Ober and says he was so funny. I never saw any of that. I never saw
I liked
anything.
Ken Ober. I thought he was good on there. I thought he did a good job.
He was good on that.
One of the other chicks that they had on there was not Daisy Fuentes, but it was a hot chick like her.
Yeah. Yeah, they had a bunch of, they went and they had that chick that used to be, that looked like the chick from the Cherry Pie video.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that
Bobby
girl?
Brown.
Bobby
Yeah.
Brown. Oh, man. Anyway, Carmen, do you know who any of these people are?
No.
This is
no
all
clue.
before your time?
Yes.
Mm.
I
It
know
was
I'm
good
Quinn.
stuff. What year were you born?
91.
Oh man! So when I was graduating high school, you weren't even born yet. Your
no.
dad was still locking girls in the basement.
Yes.
Ooh,
Never
look.
did that.
Oh, come sit over here. Listen to me.
Saunter.
I know you don't want to be here. Not that you don't like me, but that you are tired, and this is completely unnecessary for you. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate it.
That's not why.
Oh,
at
is it
all.
more?
What I don't like is a few things.
Okay. Grab that microphone so we can hear you. Yes.
I don't like a couple of things. One is I should have been informed immediately. Hey, you know what, Carl? We're kind of close to the airport. Don't drive all the way to goddamn Clearwater, which is an hour away. And look, whose responsibility is that? Who knows?
Yeah.
Two, that's really the only one.
Okay. I'm sorry. Thank you so much for coming in
No,
here.
thank you. You
I
kidding me?
appreciate it.
I love seeing the house.
Oh, yeah.
I heard there's an alligator in the backyard. Lou tells me to look for an alligator in the backyard, so I'd like to see one.
Lou is a girl, even though she's got a guy's name. Lucinda.
Yes.
Did you know it was Lucinda?
No, I didn't.
Lucinda.
By the way, Lucinda Williams, who I love.
Yeah, she Lou is a lady who I learned from the Calta and Kelly podcast is just such a huge fan of comedy. She's just a lover of comedy.
She's the greatest.
Yeah, and she's the sweetest. She's the sweetest lady. She lives in Philadelphia. I believe we're in Pennsylvania somewhere.
Pennsylvania, somewhere. She has a restaurant.
And is in a wheelchair, but not like a gross wheelchair. Like she's hot.
No.
Yeah, like she's
She
good
is hot.
looking. Yeah, like you think wheelchair, and you're like, oh,
She's
it
hot.
smells a weird smell and all that. No, she's hot.
She's hot.
And she drives herself in the van. Like
Yeah.
she's one of the most proactive people I've ever seen.
And she's very funny.
Yeah,
You know,
she's
one
great.
time I was at a gig and I go, she's doing something. I said, yeah, because genetically I have such skinny legs. It really drives me crazy. She goes, yeah, tell me about unlucky genetics. I go,
How you been, man?
good.
I have so many things. First of all, can I tell you this? This is a little weird. We've had a lot of celebrities in this show. You are still one of those people that I like. Last night I was driving home and I pulled up and I said to my wife, I can't believe Colin Quinn's going to be in our garage tomorrow.
Oh, my God.
Colin, geese, we were saying this as you were coming in. I've been watching you since I was in high school in remote control.
Yes.
Not that we're that much age difference, but you were more successful earlier on.
Well, yeah, I was older. I mean, I am older, but I mean, yeah, you were just some little Guido in Staten Island.
For 100%, yeah. Not little, but
Going-
yes, you're
Going
right.
to Monsignor McClancy or Curtis.
You know what, though? Staten Island was the armpit of New York until Pete Davidson and Colin
Yeah.
Jost and all that.
Yes.
Dude, we had Jost on the show a
Don't
couple
kid
months ago.
yourselves.
And I said to Jost, it's true. Him and Pete Davidson could not be more. They're the two opposites of Staten Island.
Right.
Pete is my neighborhood, and Colin is the kids that we never knew lived in Staten Island.
Were they like Tottenville or one of those neighborhoods?
No, Tottenville was where I went to. I lived in New York, but Tottenville was where I went to
like
school.
The rich part, yeah.
Yeah, but Colin lived in Toad Hill.
Toad Hill.
Yes, where
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming, and then probably I think he said for high school he went like to the city to go to high
Right.
school.
There's
Yeah,
that
these
whole
son of
Staten
a
Island
bitch.
thing when they go to the city.
The parents like, you will not go to school in this armpit. You will
No.
go into the city.
Well, although Big Paul lived in Toad Hill too when
Big
Colin
Paul
was
did.
born. I mean, you know, the head of the whole mob
You want to know something funny? So I'll tell you where I
was
live.
a gentleman.
Toad Hill is here,
Yeah.
and then below the hill is the Berry Homes projects where I lived.
Oh.
And my dentist office down the block was the room upstairs is where they bugged Paul in his house because you
Wow.
can get a direct shot into Toad Hill from where they were, and that's where it was. Yeah, my whole life has been entwined with mob things.
By the way, Colin Jost, Grimes Hill.
Oh, any of the hills,
Grimes
any
Hill.
of the hills are fine in Staten
Who
Island.
even knew they were? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I heard Dungan Hills.
Dungan Hills, yeah,
that's
Dungan Hills is where I lived. That's
Yeah.
like where the Dungan Hills was below Toad Hill. So
Well-
I was in the poor people section. He was in the rich people
Well, I
section.
told you all my Staten Island. You know, I lived in Staten Island for 9 days on Sand Lane. But-
9 days
I
on
couldn't
Sand
take
Lane.
it. It was
What'd
the
you
middle of
get?
winter. My friend lived there. I go, yeah, I'll move in. I moved in. I go, how do you do every day? We had to commute.
Yeah.
You had to take the ferry. It was like 85
And you had to get there from
degrees.
Sand Lane.
From Sand Lane.
Yeah.
Oh, it was hot.
Oh, that's insane.
But I told you, did I ever tell you that story about the? I met this girl from Staten Island, so I was like, I go to Staten Island. I was like 18, 19, had no driver's license,
Right.
but you know I'd driven a couple of times. And my father goes, "Take the car." I was a nice guy. I take the car. We get hammered drunk. Go to the Snoopy's. It was called the Factory. It was down by South Beach.
Right.
It was like on
Yeah.
the beach. It was a famous rock club back then. And then I drive her home. Miracle, all the way across the island. She lived in Tottenville.
Right. All the way on the other side.
All the way
15
on the
miles
other
away.
side. Yeah. And how many miles?
15,
Wow.
12.
Yeah. And I'm driving. I got through no accident. I mean, I was not a driver. I was plastered drunk.
With no license.
No license. We pull into the house, your little white picket fence, Tottenville. And you just hear it. 3 a.m. I'm driving 5 miles an hour, just so slow. And you hear, I go, what's that noise? I was knocking the whole picket fence down. The father came out. He goes, get the fuck. He sent me, I had to sleep for 3 hours because the train doesn't run at night.
Right.
So I had to sleep at the train station for 3 hours in the cold,
So funny.
waiting for the train to start up.
Do you know I left a rental car waiting for the train? And got on the train. I was doing laundry at a laundromat in Tottenville, and I went to get in my rental car, and it didn't start. And I called them, and they said, all right, we'll send somebody out. An hour goes by. I'm still sitting in my car with my clean laundry. And finally, I just said, you know what? I called them back and said, I'm leaving it here. And they go, you're abandoning it? I go, yeah. And I just left it. Never heard a word from it. I got on the train, went to the city. Nobody. I wrecked a U-Haul one time, and I didn't have the insurance. And then they said, oh, this is going to come back on you. I was like, okay. Never heard anything.
Never heard anything.
And that's why I never get that insurance now, because I've wrecked all these kinds of cars, and nobody ever comes after me.
Well, it's funny you said that because I was in a rental car once, and a truck, a big 18-wheeler on 59th Street Bridge in Manhattan, right beforehand. I go, boy, this guy looks like he's so close. It almost looks like he's going to ram into my car. We're going 1 mile an hour because of traffic. The same thing. And I handed it in. Nobody, I never heard about it. Another word about it.
We rented a SUV in the city one time because I have kids now, and people double park and triple park in the city.
Yeah.
So I'm driving, and the guy's in my lane. I don't know what to do, so I go by, and my mirror clips his mirror, and my mirror falls off. And my wife goes, what are you going to do? I go, what am I going to do? I'm not going to go get it and bring it back. So I bring it back, and this fat black lady, she was so sweet, she comes out, and she looks at me, she goes, oh, baby, where your mirror at? I go, somewhere on 34th Street, and she goes, you're going to have to pay for that. I go, probably not. I had a pretty good track record. Never heard anything. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That's a pretty good deal, the rental cars. Colin Quinn has a show tonight at Ruth Eckerd Hall, which I think is going to be great. Now, you've been doing stand-up forever, and how hard is it to go into the one-man show? Like, how much more do you have to prepare?
But I mean, a woman show is stand-up. I mean,
right.
It's still stand-up. It's just thematic a little bit. But in some ways, I mean, all I do is my stand-up after all these years. Basically, I take the most boring subjects that nobody wants to do jokes about. So I have the whole thing to myself.
What makes you what? I don't know anything about you in your free time. Like, what do you like to do? I know you turned me on to one of the worst books in the history of books.
Oh no,
he's on Howard Stern, and he says, Confederacy of Duns has changed my life. I immediately ordered it on Amazon, read it, and changed my life too. Wasted weeks of my time. Worst book ever.
Well, you can't just say he's drives you crazy. You call it the worst book instead of going, I didn't like it.
It's the worst book ever. I even got the audio book.
This is the whole problem with the world. It's filled with people saying it's the worst because I didn't like it. Instead of going, I didn't like it. That's the problem. It's fine.
Okay, the book is okay. I didn't like it. Colin's the worst because he wasted all the time of my life.
Fair enough.
And you owe me like $23 from between the audiobook and the textbook. Now, I thought maybe it's the reading that bores me, so I ordered the audiobook, and that was even worse.
Yeah, and I can't imagine the audiobook being in.
In all fairness, I didn't get through a lot of it before I was like, all right, I give up.
Yeah, it's one of those books that it's. I feel like you have to read it at the right time in life, but that's how everybody says that about everything. It's like I'm like one of those people that goes when they go, I didn't like that show. They go, you got to wait for season 4. You're like, Jesus Christ! I got to watch 3 seasons.
Get me out in the first episode. I want to see a murder in the first 30
Yes.
seconds. I know.
I started watching 1923 on the plane. That was pretty good.
Which one is that? One of the Yellowstone ones?
Yeah.
Is that the one Harrison Ford?
Yes.
That's the good one. 1883 I didn't like. Too slow.
I loved
it. Was just too slow.
Episode of 1883 though.
Yeah. First one, everybody gets mangled and.
Oh my God, it was good.
Yeah, so it's not bad. It's just slow.
Right.
The 23 one I thought was awesome, and then just kind of fell. It kind of just disappeared.
Yeah.
You had the one sexy guy chasing lions down and panthers on in Africa, and then it just stopped.
Well, my mistake. I was on the plane, and for some reason it was episode 3, so I just click. And I started watching episode. I watched the whole episode 3 like it was the first one.
Right.
I was like, boy, they really expect you to do your, like you're supposed to kind of go along with that. I was like, all right. Thank God I watched 1883 and Yellowstone, so I know what's sort of what's going on. And I realized it's episode 3. I'm an idiot.
You gotta have a good handle on history to jump into 3.
Yeah.
Oh, I know that. Where would you rank Bobby Kelly in the list of friends?
I mean,
Like,
I
who
don't
was
really,
before him?
I don't really rank my friend. I have so many friends that I can't rank people with that. You know what I mean?
You do.
I'm not like you guys with your best friend, your
Yeah.
second best friend. I don't do that.
Well-
Because I'm, you know what I mean? As Bobby will be glad to tell you, I'm the mayor of New York. I have
Yeah.
every street I go to, I have a friend.
Oh, I believe that.
You know what I mean?
I believe that because you seem like you just are a real humble dude.
I'm a
and,
friendly guy.
and everybody kind of knows you. You've been around so long. Everybody kind of, hey, this is Colin.
Well, I've been around exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and Bob, as Bobby will tell you, I call him often when I go to the local coffee shop, whatever, and nothing drives Bobby crazier than me just bantering with whoever
strangers.
behind. Yeah, and I'm like, oh boy, crazy day today, huh? We'll see what happens. And he just gets fuming man on the phone, but I secretly think he loves it. You know what I mean? I
Weird,
love Bobby.
to me, I would assume that you wouldn't like talking to people.
No, I love to.
Yeah.
I know, I do. For some reason, and it's plagued me my whole career. People go, "Oh yeah, you seem like you're really like you like to start trouble and you're unfriendly." I'm like, "What? I'm the friendliest person in the world."
Yeah, I wouldn't say unfriendly, but you sometimes, like if I saw you sitting there, I'd be like, I'm not talking to Quinn. He just doesn't look like he wants to talk to
I
anybody.
talk to everybody.
Yeah.
I love talking to people.
I got Pete Davidson's butthole eyes, so it's a Staten Island thing. So I feel like people automatically think I'm in a bad mood, like
Yeah.
Paul Sorvino face. You know what I'm saying?
But I don't know why people think that about me. I think it's my voice.
It's your voice, 100%.
Sounds irritable, you know.
Right, even if you're like, have a nice day. I know it's
Yeah.
not sincere.
Yeah.
I don't mean for you to rank it. I was just curious outside of Bobby, like who you
I
hang
love
out
Bobby.
with.
I mean, yeah, Bobby, and I mean, I love in comedy. My oldest friends are those guys, you know.
Yeah.
Bobby
And I love how tight that group is.
and Keith.
All the Boston
But we're
guys.
not that close anymore. Well, I'm not from Boston, but I mean those.
No,
guys.
but those Boston comedy scene guys, Keith and Bobby, and
Well, Keith's from Philly,
all right.
and Boston's from Jersey.
In my mind, they're all from. the
Bobby's
same
from
area.
Boston. You
Bobby's
got
from
one
Boston, yeah.
out of 9, so good job.
Dane, Aldo, Benny. I was gonna pull all the names out that I got. Dane was supposed to be on the show today.
He was.
Yes,
What happened?
they were
His
afraid
people.
of things that were. Yeah, his people. Dane's okay. His
Yeah.
people are a little much. So.
They wouldn't let him come on.
They were worried about. They said.
You start too much.
Well, I
conversation.
did. Dane's been on the show a bunch of times,
Right.
and every time he's on, I ask him a question that you probably wouldn't ask somebody.
Right.
But I feel like that Dane will answer those questions, and he has. So the very first time we had him on, Steve Burns said that Dane called. What's that guy's name? The manager that they all had at the time, Barry Katz,
Barry Katz.
and said that Steve Byrne was stealing his essence. And that sat in my heart and burnt like heartburn for
Right.
all these years. And then the first time we had Dane on, I go, let me ask you a question. I go, you know when somebody gets famous and then you start hearing rumors about them? I go, I got a bunch of rumors I want to ask you. And he goes, okay.
Yeah.
I said, did you accuse another comic of stealing your essence? And he said, yes. And he goes, at the time he was doing my hand movements. And I went,
Right.
okay. And then I said, did you tell another comedian he wasn't allowed to wear a Boston Red Sox hat in the comedy club? And he said, oh, if Kyle, who wasn't
Kyle Cease.
Kyle Cease, he goes, Kyle Cease can't take a joke. And I was like, oh, I didn't mention his name. I didn't say anything. And Dane knew exactly what we were talking about. So he's been good at like answering those things. So now we have a new respect for him. So last time he was on the show, I said, hey, can I ask you another real question? He goes, yeah. I go, what are you doing to your face? What's going on with your face? You got too much stuff in there. His head's starting to look like Frankenstein. And he said, you know what? I took HGH for a movie. And they didn't tell you that in addition to your muscles and everything growing, your cranium enlarges and your head gets bigger. And he's like, and I went, that's like the most honest answer. Even if he's lying, that's still a great answer.
Yeah, sure.
And that's the kind of guest you want on the show. So this time they said no questions about the wife, which I don't care about. And what was the other thing?
Pre-record it.
Oh, but they wanted no question about the wife. And his beef with Louis, which is not even his old news. So I was like, I don't care about any of that. And then they were like, well, can you pre-record it and can you do this? And we're like, Colin Quinn's coming in. We're fine. We'll be
CQ's
okay.
coming in.
Yeah.
By the way, speaking of Bobby Kelly, Woe Hop restaurant. You know Woe Hop.
I
I know
love Woe.
Bobby's obsessed with trying to go to Woe Hop.
Trying to go?
He's never
It's
been
very
there.
easy.
Oh.
I know.
You can take a
He's
cab
never
there.
been there.
Mott
But-
Street.
But he likes to make it a ritual. You know what I mean? He wants it to
does.
be like I take him there or you take him. You know.
I'll happily
likes the
take him
ritual.
there. So this is a
Mohawks are
good.
greatest. They have two of them now.
Yeah, but you only listen.
Yeah,
there
I
was an
know.
upstairs and a downstairs,
I know,
and I've
downstairs.
been to the upstairs. It's just not as good.
No, downstairs is better.
And
It's like Joe's Pizza. The one on Carmine is better.
yeah, it's weird when it's so good. In Staten Island mob move. The mob guys used to order Wohop from a taxi like before Uber Eats. Like in the '80s, Wohop would show up and they would have a taxi just go pick it up and get it. That was I was very impressed with that.
What's that great pizza? Pat's, Joe and Pat. What's the place? It's in Toad Hill.
I don't know. I didn't
There's
get
a-
to eat
there was
in
a great
the good
pizza place
places.
there.
I've been gone since '89, so I don't know what's
Yeah,
over
no,
there.
but it was there. I can't remember.
It seemed to me like any pizza place in Staten Island all served the same pizza. It was all pretty good.
It was all pretty good.
Yeah,
I just love the streets. Father Capodanno Boulevard.
Mhm.
Like, that's great.
But how about the other end of the island had great kills
Yeah.
and then fresh kills? Well, as a kid, I never even thought about that. These are intense names for streets.
And that's where they buried the bodies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I found out last night through Instagram where the Yankees came from. Do you know about that? You're a history guy.
The
Where
New York
name,
Yankees?
The name Yankees.
No.
The Dutch settled in New York,
Right.
and the Dutch had slang words. One of them was Jan, and I forgot the other one. And when you put it together, it was Yankees, and that's where they came up with the Yankees.
Wow.
Isn't that something? I never knew that. Huge Yankee fan. Found out last night.
And I'm in my show. I actually referenced Yankee being a Dutch word in New York Story, and I still didn't know where it came from.
Yeah. So there you go.
Shows the kind of reach. So Jan, but the only problem with that story, which would be a great story, especially for me, is you go and Jan, which I don't know what that's supposed to mean, and you go and the other one means something else. If you're gonna research the whole thing,
I just forgot. I watched it quick last night.
Something happened there, then something else happened.
something else.
Do you know for the first 18 years of my life, I thought they named Staten Island because do you know the story there?
Staten.
Yeah, Staten Island.
Right.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my God, that's so great. And that was all lies.
What
All
was?
lies. Then nobody looked at it and said, is Staten Island? Like, is that an island? And then it became Staten Island. That's what they told us.
That
Yeah.
sounds like a Italian joke.
Yeah,
You
that's
know what I
Dutch
mean?
word too. Yeah.
That's a dad joke, and I fell for it for 20 years.
Well, that's what they used to call Staten Island. You know.
What?
Very Sound Bridge.
Yeah.
Guinea Gangplank. Yeah.
Beginning gangplank for
Because
sure.
all the Italians moved from Brooklyn to Staten Island. You know. Even
So-
when I was a kid, they were kind of doing that. Man.
My family lived on Elizabeth Street, where
Oh.
Scorsese's family lived.
Yes.
And they, the house that I grew up in when I moved out of the projects,
Yeah.
was a beach house. It was like 5 blocks away from the beach,
Right.
which I could never swim in my teenage years because it was gross. It was cars in there.
I remember you.
Yeah, but they built a bungalow. It was a beach bungalow. It was like their vacation spot. And then they moved out of the city and built another house on that property, and that's where we lived.
That's great.
Isn't that weird?
That's a real Italian movie. Yeah, everybody had their little, because they used to say the Italians wanted a place for tomato plants. Like,
Yeah.
in the backyard. Yeah.
We had people think when I went to summer camp, people were like, yeah, you're from New York. You don't even have trees in the city. And I'm like, trees? I got 8 fig trees in my backyard. I got 8 fig trees, tomatoes, apricots. I have all these things that
Yeah.
nobody in the neighborhood had.
That's
It
right.
was crazy. Colin Quinn is here. He's going to be at Ruth Eckerd Hall tonight doing a show. Now, is this more one-man show type stuff? Is this
Yeah.
thematical?
No,
Oh.
but I mean, it's not. But it's deals with all the usual stuff I like talking about.
Colin's great. You are the guy like, oh, this is something Bobby and I talk about. All women are strangely attracted to you. Bobby's wife wants to bang you, I guarantee you.
Nice.
Yeah. Nice. No, seriously, do you feel that? Do you feel that girls got, there's something about you that girls are very attracted to?
No.
I think it's
But
your self-confidence.
Yeah, I think it's got to be.
Yeah. Well, you're a handsome guy.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, you're a handsome guy, and the self-confidence I
I'm a
think goes a
7.
long way.
I was a 7. Now I'm God knows what. But yeah, I think confidence. Girls, good. You know, it's so funny because in my act over the years, I used to say girls love confidence just casually in several incarnations over the course of my career.
Right.
And every time, girls in the crowd go, "Yeah."
Mm-hmm.
So all you guys listen out there, that's the most important thing is that self-confidence.
Have you met my wife?
I don't think so.
It is a pure sign of confidence will get you any girl you want. I have a hot wife, and I've got nothing. You're a 7. I'm a 4 falling
You know what
fast.
I mean? But that's confidence makes because people and I get it now. I at the time because you know we're guys we're like I just like look, but when you look back you're like confident people keep you in a good mood.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you're like women think in the big picture like I'm gonna be stuck in a house with this guy for 50 years.
Right.
I don't want somebody who's got like that negative energy who's like, oh, I don't know what to do. Like they're not thinking about the looks. They're thinking about like somebody who can wake up and be like, all right, let's do something.
Take it by the balls and run with
Yeah.
it. Yeah. I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel that. Can we rewind it a little bit? I got questions for you.
Sure.
Remote control.
Right.
How do you get involved in that? They just do a call, or somebody says you'd be good for the show.
Speaking of confidence, I'll give you, it's beyond confidence. You
Yeah.
might call it narcissistic delusion, but I'm doing comedy. I'm doing all right, but I'm not really but I'm big with the comedians, but
Right.
not with the audiences. But I have this voice only with cigarettes, so I sound like sound like I'm from Staten Island.
Like you got the trach.
Yeah. And then they go, hey, we want you to be the announcer on remote control. And I'm going, the announcer? I don't know what I mean for the host. So I was like, yeah, I guess nothing else is going on. This is all in my mind. I literally have nothing going on, but you'd think I'm I'm negotiating.
Right. Just like you don't have rent.
Yeah, like a cocky idiot. And then so they make us read copy. So the only thing I knew about showbiz, because I had done one commercial
Right.
for Burger King, and I made $4,000, which
Wow.
was incredible.
Yeah, it's a lot of
It
money.
ran a lot of times, but still $4,000, 1987.
Right. That's a lot.
So I'm like, the copy will be included. I go, how much I get paid to read these commercials? Suzuki, all this stuff. They go, nothing extra. It's just part of your job. I have the worst attitude.
Yeah.
So I'm reading the copy. They literally almost fired me. I'm going, Suzuki. Yeah, you got to get it. Motorola. With the worst attitude. So the advertising people are calling them up going, this guy's disrespecting our products. They go, stop doing that. But I'm so angry because I think I know, like, they're supposed to be paying. They're not.
Right.
But, it's part of but in my mind, I'm like, that's it. So what happened was all the kids watching the show loved the fact, and then the girl with me starts reading it, making fun of it too.
Right.
All the kids love the fact that we disrespect the practice.
Doing terrible reads.
They're 15,
Yeah.
16, so they love that we're going against the grain.
Right.
We're not trying to be like thirsty, like, hey, Motorola guys,
Yeah.
it's all good. We're like bad-mouthing them. So it became hugely popular, so they let it slide. They were going to fire me for that.
Really?
Yeah.
And then did the advertisers accept it? They realized that it
I
was
guess
getting
they
good?
must
Oh,
have,
that's
yeah.
so funny.
But isn't that funny? Because the kids clicked with the show. One of the reasons they clicked was we didn't stop in the middle of this sarcastic show and start being sincere.
Right. You
Going,
kept
hey,
going the same
seriously, the products,
Yeah.
So I guess they liked the fact that we had a bad attitude too.
way. So you speak highly of Ken Ober, and I thought he was good on that show, but you say he was funny too. I didn't know him.
Ken
as anything.
Ober. Well, first of all, when you really look at running that show, having to be a host of a show,
Yeah.
and still having to be funny, but still having to run the show with all these moving parts.
Right.
He was really good at it. I mean, when I look back, I go, even at the time, I was like, it was impressive. But when he did, we would do shows. He was a stand-up before that.
Yeah. And he was funny stand up?
He was so
Really?
mostly crowd work. He was ahead of his time. He'd
Yeah.
be big today.
Yeah. He'd be
Because-
the Matt Rife of today.
Yes.
Right.
He was just crowd work guy, but he was so quick at crowd work.
Oh, that's interesting.
But he loved to. I told you I don't know if I know I've told Bobby this, but one of the great things about Kenny was he would like one time I would keep trying to tell him like we've got to get serious and get stand up and this is not going the way we want, artistically. And he goes, listen to me, I don't care. I go, what? He goes, I'm in show business to meet girls, to get free tickets to things. They fly me places. I eat and I drink I go to parties. He goes, that's all I care about. He said it to me. It was one of the funniest.
He's living life.
He was like, that's it. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah. He didn't know. He wasn't there for the
Instead of
artistic
being
integrity.
fake,
Yeah.
Yet he was he was quick and creative.
Right.
But he was like, I don't care. And that's what I loved about him. Like,
That's so funny.
and he knew that early. He wasn't like trying to be like, yeah, we'll get to it. He didn't pay me lip service. He goes, I don't care. And I was laughing so hard.
I remember we were trying to name all the girls. Can you remember the girls?
Oh, sure. I mean, you had, first was Marisol.
Marisol. I thought she was the hottest.
What about Kari?
Well, Kari was something else, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one of those girls did you hook up with?
Nobody. I mean, me and Kari made out one time. Here's what I love about Kari. You want to talk about a team player? One time she goes, everybody used to say we were banging all
Right.
the time. And then
Because she was all over you
because
on TV.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that was her that was her part. you
Right.
know? But then I go, one time I go, everybody says we banged. I keep trying to tell them no. She goes, you can tell them. Yeah, don't worry about it.
Nice.
She was great.
Carry on with that.
Carrie, and then I saw her at Kenny's funeral,
Uh-huh.
and she was 41 or 42 by then. or
Still looking
something.
good.
Oh my God!
Really?
No, it was insane how good she looked. It was
Wow.
crazy.
Wow.
She was really cool. All those girls were really nice. You know what I mean? Like they all had like
Well, they knew their bit. They knew their part. So
yeah,
yeah.
and they were just cool. Like they weren't. They had to be cool because if they weren't cool, it wouldn't have worked. Like that show was so insane.
Right.
Life was so insane.
It wasn't about like the bitchy hot girl. It was the fun girl.
They were all hot, but they were exactly. They
Yeah.
were all, and we'd go to these crazy parties. You know what I mean? Everybody had
Oh,
their
that must have been the
conflicts.
great life.
It was the only time in life where you look at something and go, oh, behind the scenes, not like it was like that.
It
Behind
was-
the scenes.
yeah, yeah.
We were friends with. It was like a movable party because I tell people all the time, like at that time, every place MTV went, we weren't going for a serious, in-depth study.
Right.
We were going, and the party was waiting for us.
Yeah.
When MTV gets here, we're going to start the party. So it didn't matter if you were in the smallest town or the biggest city. Everybody there was young kids that wanted to party.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was always
how old
fun.
were you at the time? 20s?
28, 29. Yeah.
How great is that?
It was great.
Yeah. Marisol, Kari, then Bobby. Oh, Susan, I don't remember.
No, Bobby Brown, you mean?
Yeah.
I knew Bobby Brown. I actually lived in a building right around the end of MTV with Bobby Brown, for Cherry Pie,
yeah.
Katie Lane, Bobby Brown, who I knew very well, and Erin Everly, who was Axel's girlfriend,
Yeah.
and Slash's girlfriend is called Megan, who's also amazing. And I was there with like,
You and all the hot bros.
oh, me and Ola, and literally Axel at the height of his fame, it's like 1990, and he'd be calling, Colin, what's Erin doing right now? She won't talk to me. I go, she's doing laundry, but I'll tell her you called. You called me to ask, like,
Insecure Axl Rose was calling you for
Axl-
updates on his
He
girlfriend?
well, he was such a down-to-earth guy. He was an Indiana guy.
Yeah, yeah.
So that was his girlfriend. No, he wasn't insecure.
Yeah.
They were fighting or something at the
That's
time.
so funny.
No, he was just like, hey, listen, he was a cool guy. He was like a real, this is the height of his fame, but he's like a real down-to-earth guy.
Right.
You're talking to him and you're like,
In a
yes.
million years, I would have never guessed Axl Rose was a down to earth guy. Like
At
Slash
that,
is.
especially at that time.
Really? That's crazy.
Right? He was like,
Yeah.
he was this controversial, like, he was a good dude. He was like a solid guy,
That's so funny. So forget the girls. Then you have, like, the first time I ever saw Sandler was on that show.
Yeah.
Stud Boy.
Yeah.
Dennis Leary.
Canteen guy. Can't right? Oh, yeah,
my-
Leary. That was
Yeah,
the other one I
Leary was on
forgot.
And Leary. Well, Canteen, I knew the both of them before that.
Yeah.
We were all friends. Everybody knew each other. But Sandler came in with those characters. You want to talk about ahead of its time. Those characters were like so like mocking doing characters.
Yeah. Canteen Boy was.
Canteen Boy was idiotic.
Yeah.
And then he did this other boy called Bossy Boy. He was just making up these stupid characters. Bossy Boy. He got makeup to put like orange dots on his face, like he had freckles or
Right.
acne, I'm not sure. And he would just walk in with a fast food uniform and just start being an asshole. Just yelling at
everybody.
Bossy Boy.
He had to be young too. He had to be such
He
a
was
kid,
really young.
right?
He was 19 or 20.
And was Stiller on there? I remember seeing Stiller.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, no,
'cause
we
Stiller
did-
and Leary did like a Starsky and Hutch thing, didn't they?
Oh, no.
Who was
no.
that?
Stiller did like this whole U2 thing, which was very funny.
Okay.
But that was at MTV. He did a lot of MTV stuff with us.
Yeah, I
too.
remember.
But I mean, yeah, no, it was Leary. Leary is funny. That's my brother. We would just fight all the time. My
Yeah.
cousin. We were just getting fights on the show and just start fighting each other.
Oh, I love Leary. I
Yeah,
think
he's
he's
great.
Didn't
great.
he do a Keith Richards character or something on there?
Oh yeah, and he
Yeah.
did Keith Richards and Andy Warhol.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so
It was he
funny.
did Andy Warhol.
That's so funny.
But
Remote control.
Leary's the guy.
I'm
yeah.
surprised they didn't try to do that more. That they didn't try to bring it back, or maybe they did and I didn't notice.
I don't think they did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because it was groundbreaking at the time, but then every show was like it.
Yeah,
so
that's
if it
true.
came out now, it wouldn't have been the same.
Yeah.
But every show tried to be ironic after that. But like the reason it was so entertaining was not only that was a great idea for a show with all these, but also me and Kenny was so disrespectful of the process
Yeah.
because we were like, we shouldn't be doing this. We're comedians, so that it made it work.
Yeah.
Like it hit with kids because we really were not trying to be sincere for 1 second.
Well,
And kids loved it, right?
It was groundbreaking.
You guys
it really
did, yeah.
was. Yeah, we really did. I mean,
High school kids like that ironic, like, we don't give a damn because we didn't give a damn.
when you did sing along with Colin, and it was so awful.
Yeah.
And I just thought that nobody did awful. You know, nobody.
Right.
Yeah, and to see you do that, I was like, this he gets it, man. That's funny.
Totally awful. And the commercial reads were awful. And Kenny would just be the host, but he'd be the host. That's why I always say Kenny was so good. He'd be the host.
Yeah. He could be a straight guy.
He did
could
it both, but he'd also be making fun of it the whole time.
Right.
And that was like hard, you know?
That's so funny. I was a huge stand-up fan at that age. I used to tape Letterman at night so I could watch it the next day. And do you remember Bill Boggs?
Yeah, of course.
Bill Boggs
I
had
was
that.
on Night Flight.
Oh, were you really?
Oh, yeah.
That was the first time I ever saw Saget. And
Yes.
I watched that 1,000 times. I could still today remember he did songs. I remember the words to the songs. It was really, at the time, you were getting Joan Rivers, you were getting Buddy Hackett, you were getting all these big time, and then Eddie Murphy.
Yes.
But it was shows like that brought out the real comedians, and
Night
you got
Flight,
to see
Bill
this guy.
Boggs.
Night Flight, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it was
That
great.
was my first show.
And what did you do Caroline's? What did you host?
I hosted Caroline's after MTV.
Yeah. Then that's another thing. Once those shows got on TV, you got to really see some of the great comics. When I was a kid, I didn't know about comedy clubs except for Dangerfields because
Right.
everybody went there on their prom. That was the
Right.
thing. You go to Dangerfields.
That's right.
And I didn't even get to do that because Dangerfields, I guess, was on the tail end at that time, and we found a couple of bars that would actually service alcohol, so we were good there.
Yeah, you went to Grandpa's and Staten Island.
Grandpa's opened the year that I moved in '89.
They did, yeah.
So, and I remember my father called me up one day. My father goes, I went to Grandpa's to go see a comedian. I don't even know who it was. And they got up there and they said, ladies and gentlemen, this guy is not here tonight. Please welcome Andrew Dice Clay in '89.
Wow.
My dad was through the roof. That was his hero. Everybody
Especially
loved Dice.
89, he was on top of the world.
And imagine seeing Dice in a small club like that, working on material. Oh,
At that
time.
That's insane.
I Dice bugs me because he's so happy where he is right now that we can't get him to come on the show. He doesn't want to get up early. He's like an old grandfather now. But the thing I want to talk to Dice about the most is the day the laughter died was I don't know if a lot of people know that he had a double album of some of the most horrible, and I mean horrible, like it was very funny, but it was people walking out of his show. He was so ahead of its time, and it was groundbreaking because people can do that after Dice got in trouble for it. He was the first one to go in, do all these bad things, and then make it easy for other people to do that.
Sure. And I still remember him on stage. He had like a bandana, right, around his head at the time.
Did he? I don't even remember. Oh, like one of those big ones.
And he goes, in the middle of the special, he just looks at these two guys up front like this, and he goes, look at these two jerk offs. And they go, what? They go, we love you, Dice. He goes, we love you, Dice. Jerk offs.
It's awesome. Colin Quinn is
let me just
here.
tell you the best, the quintessential Dice joke. Every joke should have been like this. This is Dice to the core.
Yeah.
When he goes, I'm hammering away at this girl, banging away. And then she turns her head. She goes, Dice, what's the hurry? What do you got, a bus to catch? No, you do.
He was so funny, man. This stuff was so insane. You said one of the best insults to me ever one time on the podcast. I asked you if you watched, what was the name of the Godfather show that they did with Miles Teller, The Offer? I go, Colin, you watching The Offer yet? And you go, no. And nothing's worse than watching a show about the Godfather with the guy from Staten Island. You're so annoying. Hey, look, there's this, that.
Oh, yeah. Well, it was all shot there.
It was, I know.
I ended up watching The Offer, by the way.
Did you like it?
Yeah.
I wasn't enthusiastic.
I regret that I liked it. But
Yeah, I thought it was great, man. I mean, I love that movie. I'm so, like everybody else, obsessed with those movies. To see that stuff was awesome.
But the problem was Al Ruddy, like, because he made it.
Right.
So anytime you make anything from anybody's memory, it's always like, and Al Ruddy was the point man on everything.
Yeah.
And he's sitting down having dinner with Joe Colombo. And, I mean, maybe he did, but I mean, it's kind of hard to,
I didn't know the Joe Colombo stuff, and I had to go first check with my dad. I go, is this really? Oh, yeah. And then I went and found it all on YouTube.
But here's what's weird about that show. So they kept showing the Paramount Gates.
Yeah.
Right? The whole show, they keep showing Paramount Gates. So the whole reason why they let them, Columbus, why they wanted to deal with them was because some guys who apparently weren't mob connected but thought they were mob, when the Godfather, when they said they were making the movie, blew up the Paramount gates.
Oh, really?
Right at the beginning of all that, after the Godfather was announced to be a movie, that's the first thing that happened.
Oh, I didn't
And to
know
not
that.
put that in the show was insane to me.
Why? I wonder why.
They kept showing the gates. I was like, oh.
Yeah, here it
talking
comes.
about- Isn't that weird?
That is very weird.
I mean, that was a well-known. It was.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's incredible.
That's
man.
what started the whole thing. Where they're like, we better deal with the mob. These guys are serious.
Yeah.
They blew up the Paramount gates.
Holy cow! I didn't. Now I got to go look that up too.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know why.
That house, Toad Hill.
Toad Hill.
Toad Hill.
By the way, the other house, I ripped my Achilles. I was working on a Sandler movie, and they're playing basketball, and they go, "You gonna play?" It was getting dark. And I was like, "I don't know." And Sandler goes, "You don't have to play if you don't want to." I was like, no, I want to. I had sneakers, but I was tired. I popped my Achilles. But where we're shooting is the house where Jack Waltz wakes up with a horse's head in the bed.
Oh, and
that
you're
mansion.
in California. Yeah.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And it looks exactly the same.
Yeah, I've seen. When I went there when I was a kid, when they do one of those one of those neighbor tours or whatever it is.
Yeah, and the guy that owned it at this time, he sold it since. He had 6 guys in black suits. We, obviously carrying like heavy artillery.
Right.
That were bodyguards.
Watching
It's a
it.
big property.
Yeah.
Like there's trees, and it's right off Sunset Boulevard. Now you would never see a house like that close to Sunset Boulevard.
Right.
It's right off it.
What are you doing? What movie did you do there?
I can't.
That's what I want to have. So many movies, I can't remember which
I
one.
can't remember. It was one of Sandler's movies, but it was I can't remember the name of it. But
Were
it was
were
some
you
little
in?
part. I was in some big part.
Were you in the movie? I think I remember this with the Fat Boys.
No, not the Fat Boys.
No, was that?
I was in Who's the Man?
Who's the Man?
All the other rappers were in there. Maybe the Fat Boys. I don't think the Fat Boys were in it, but everybody else was in it.
That's right.
Everybody was in that one. They were all in there. Here's in the new school.
Yeah, all those guys.
All those guys from the early days, Busta Rhymes and Wu-Tang before
That's my wife's
Wu-Tang. Yeah.
music.
Yeah.
Busta Rhymes and Wu-Tang leaders in
Yeah,
new
yeah.
school.
No,
That's
they were
her
all
day.
in that movie. Yeah.
Colin Quinn is here. He's going to be at Ruth Eckerd Hall tonight. You can get tickets at rutheckerdhall.com. If there's any left, you can check it out there and go see him. I say this when I meant this earlier about you coming here today. I thought back, and I think I told you this before, but in fact, I'm sure I did. But the first time you had after MTV, after Remote Control, you had the Colin Quinn talk show
On MTV.
on MTV.
Oh,
it was
yeah,
just you in a black background.
Yes.
It was fantastic.
Oh.
And then you would let people call in to the show.
Yeah.
And I had to go to a payphone to try and call in because my mother didn't have long distance on the phone. And I was trying to call into the show because you had Jimmy Burke on.
Yes.
Who worked, his mother worked with my mother in the travel agency in Staten Island. So I'm watching Colin, and there's a guy I know who is an actor, who I think he was in Disorderlies or one of those movies.
Yeah, no, he was in Who's the Man too.
Who's the Man,
yeah.
And I'm like, I know this guy. I gotta call in. And I'm at the payphone trying to dial my little fat fingers frantically to get through. Meanwhile, the best was this Hispanic guy gets through, and I don't know if it's real or not, but he's like, "Hey, Colin, this, that, and the other thing, and this guy. You want to talk about confidence? This guy." And then you're like laughing and you're into the call, and the guy goes, "Hey, Colin, I gotta go. The Domino's guy's here." And I thought, now as I got older, I thought maybe these are fake calls. I don't know.
I don't remember that call. I don't remember the guy's call, but of course I remember doing the show with Jimmy Burke.
Jimmy Burke, and then one day I asked you, I'm like, "How do you know Jimmy Burke?" And you're like, "Yeah, he used to roller skate and play softball in Central Park all the time."
All the time.
Yeah.
And then they gave me another show on MTV that was also a failure. It was, and it was a sports show. And one time Charles Barkley canceled on us at the last minute because I had done the thing with Charles Barkley. It was really funny. So he canceled. So my cousin comes in, Brendan from Bay Ridge.
Right.
And we're talking. We're bouncing a basketball back and forth. I go, "So Charles?" He goes, "Yeah." I go, "How's Philadelphia?" "Oh, I love Philadelphia. Philadelphia's fantastic. Liberty Valley got everything over there. It's fantastic." And he just answered all the questions.
As Charles Barkley.
It was so funny.
Is your whole family funny?
No, but a lot of them are funny.
Like I had this, and everybody's like, "Oh, I love your show. It's so funny." My brother's funnier than I am. all my friends from Staten Island are hilarious. Like they all make me laugh. I feel like that's just the thing.
Yeah, well, I feel like when I'm at family get-togethers, everybody is kind of they always have something funny to say that you're like, yeah, these people are really funny.
Yeah.
You're right. I
You know
feel
where
the
you
same
get
way.
it from. You know?
Yeah.
It's so
but
funny.
my mother was so funny because she would go, I'm not funny. Like she was somebody, and when people try to be funny in front of her, except for me,
Right.
when somebody would try to be like funny to her, she'd just stare at them. And that was because she wasn't
It'd be
funny.
funnier, yeah.
But she knew she wasn't funny. She goes,
Right.
I'm not funny. So if I don't laugh at you, and she was trying to tell them, you're not funny either. So stop trying to make me laugh.
Carmen, just hold off. We'll probably be a little late today, so I'll let you know when we're done, okay?
Okay.
All right. So, wasn't that? Oh, my grandmother.
Yeah.
I used to call my grandmother on the air. Like, you ever hear Howard when he called his mother?
Yes.
But I call my grandmother, not to copy that, but she was the most genuine person. Like, if I call my mother would be like, oh, we're on the radio. And my dad gets into this, hey, what's up? We're on the radio. You know, I don't want character. I want the real.
Somebody's just.
So I call my grandma and I'd be like, Gram, I was just thinking about this the other day. Out of all the cousins I have and all the people in the family, who's gay? Because one of us, by just statistics, has to be gay. And she would get so mad. She'd be like, Michael, why would you ask me this on the radio? And she'd be legitimately mad at me. And there was nothing better than that.
No.
There was nothing better than real family stuff.
It's real stuff like that. So that's why when like the really good actors, they're so funny because they're not doing
Right.
Like they would say, acting is not acting, which is like such a weird contradiction. But the real good ones cut through trying to be anything,
Right.
And they just get into that organic moment.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen all the time. And then when they become big, they get less and less. But that real moment, people used to always say Robert Duvall was like the one guy where you're like, this guy's not, you couldn't catch him acting.
Yeah.
And that's what they're trying to get to, that space where your grandmother was at naturally.
Duvall is the best of that. Duvall's
Yeah.
confusion when he answers it, like he had asked him, like even Days of Thunder, his character, he's so the character. He's fantastic.
Oh my God. Yeah, he's trying to get, like he really tries to get to that space where your grandmother is at naturally.
Yeah.
It's why the Jerky Boys were so funny.
Oh, the Jerky
It's
Boys
why
are
the
great.
Tube Bar tape, speaking of Staten Island, it was
Yeah.
Jersey City, but still, is that real reaction of somebody being themselves. There's nothing close.
How many of the time those Jerky Boys tapes that we all have on cassette and listened to
Yes.
before they were ever anything? I'm so glad that it went mainstream for a while because that was some of the best stuff ever.
Yeah, and they said he's doing the character, but the other people are just being themselves.
You want to hear something funny? We used to do prank phone calls from this kid's house. This kid lived in kind of like near the Staten Island Mall, and he had one of those houses that was a 2-family house, but also had a basement apartment in the back. So his parents let him live in the basement while we were in high school, you know? So we go to this kid's house and hang out because we had like our own apartment. And we make prank phone calls from the phone. Well, it turns out the mother was dating a mob guy and they were tapping the phone lines. And we didn't find out till after, and we thought, how funny did those FBI guys think we were that they got to listen to all those prank phone calls all the time?
Oh my God!
Isn't that
great?
great? Isn't that great?
I mean, that's a great story, but it's not just a great story. That could be a great plot twist.
Well, yeah.
It's great.
That's how they find the Jerky Boys.
They have to turn it off every 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Put it back
Yeah,
on.
right.
Well, that's
I mean,
great.
it's so great. That's a great one.
Before we go, I wanted to just tell you also, I thought that going back to Brooklyn was great.
Ben Stiller, right? Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he directed. He was in it.
Pulled out a pear, sprayed her hair, and showed me a picture of Richie Sambora.
Yeah.
I'm 52 years old. I still remember that stuff.
I met Richie Sambora. Like all those guys were like in our thing at the time.
Yeah.
And I met Richie Sambora right after, and he goes, "Hey,"
Yeah.
something like he didn't say shout out. Whatever people said in those
Right.
days instead of shout out. It was
Yeah,
before
yeah.
the term shout out existed. Like, hey,
Yeah, that's so funny.
you throw me a thing, something.
You, Guns N' Roses, Bon Jovi, Sam Kinison. That must have been the best time ever.
Yeah, I mean, it was the best. Sam Kinison was I was so funny. I mean, I loved Sam Kinison because he was so funny. I
Yeah.
didn't even know him that well, but he was, yeah, that's still a mystery to me. Like, what it was? They said he didn't play the game, and I feel like that was what messed him up. Like, they want him to be in this. They wanted him and Roseanne to be in this movie about a caveman and his wife, or an igloo guy, whatever
Right.
those, an iceman, and he turned it down, or she turned. They both were like just too hard. 'Cause they
Yeah.
were comedians, so they're like, we'll do what we want. We'll tell you what's funny.
Yeah. It worked out for Roseanne.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you, we didn't even get to talk about it. I had so many questions. I'll save it for next time, Saturday Night Live. You know, the first time I had you on the air was on sports radio doing a talk show. And we called Comedy Central, and we booked you through Comedy Central. And I asked you, I go, hey, I went to Saturday Night Live one time, and when you were doing the news, and there was a girl who was like a stage manager or something, and she had black hair and big boobs, and she was shot. You were like, oh yeah, that's Jen. I don't know if that was her name, but she was so hot. And you go, if I ever thought there'd be a day where I'd be talking about the boobs on the girl from Saturday Night Live, I watched her. She was smoking hot, and she was running around. She kept coming over to you, and I was like, one day I'm going to have Quinn on the air, and I'm going to ask him about this girl.
Well, not only is she beautiful,
yeah,
but her first job where I met her was remote control.
Oh,
she was on remote control too. And then when she got on SNL, I was like, oh my God,
that's
Jenna,
so
I
funny.
can't believe it. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah, Jenna, she's beautiful, yeah.
We talked about this earlier this morning. Lauren Michaels, I don't know him. I don't know anything about him. Met him once or twice.
Lauren, yeah.
Burt Kreischer. We were talking about Nate Bargatze and what a big rating they had with having him on the show.
Did they have a big rating?
Yeah.
4.9 million people
Wow.
watched. Did you watch the show by any chance?
I watched the monologue and a couple of the sketches.
So I would say that
That's the show.
no offense to Saturday Night Live. You watch the Saturday Night Live a whole hour and a half.
Yeah.
You had 3 good things that you take away from the show.
Right.
Most of it, I think, is Colin Jost and Michael Che. Yeah. This one, I would say, probably had 8 out of 10 that were the sketches were funny. Yeah. The monologue was great. The musical guest was Foo Fighters. Like there was nothing that could go wrong on the show.
Parody song that they did.
The parody by the lake was good.
Right.
Everything they did on this show, there was maybe 2 flunkers. The rest of it was awesome. And we were saying this morning that with Nate selling out arenas and all that, Burt is ahead of Nate.
Yes.
He's got a movie. He's selling out stadiums.
Yes.
He's doing all this stuff. But would Burt ever make it as a host on Saturday Night Live, or is Lauren Michaels look at a guy like takes his shirt off and goes, he's got like a gimmick? You know what I mean?
No, I don't. I think he would do it. I mean, what do I know? I haven't seen Lauren Michaels.
I know. I'm
in
just
20
trying to
years.
think of the
But I'm just
mentality
saying,
of the show.
I'm saying I think they would want to
have that size of a crowd. Yeah.
And Burt would be great on the show.
We just got off the Burt cruise.
You did?
3,000 people who just worship Burt, and he's the new Jimmy Buffett. Is what he is.
Yes.
They're all just lovely people who want to drink and have a good time. They're not as obnoxious as you think they would be. They want to wear dumb shirts and Speedos and drink their faces off.
That's great.
And listen to good music.
And you on the cruise is great.
I was on the cruise in my Michael Corleone room. I had 3 bedrooms in my cabin. Me and Bert had the same room next to each other. And I was like, I'm not leaving this room. I'm not going out there with those peasants. Are you kidding me? I'm just going to watch them from my tower, and that's all I'm doing.
But that's great.
It was great. We had a ball.
No,
we had a ball.
Burt would be a great host.
I think so. And then, but Calvin pointed out he's going to break down laughing in every sketch.
Every sketch.
That would be annoying.
Yeah. Colin, I love you, man. I'm so happy you came in here. This means a lot to me, man. Ruth Eckerd Hall tonight. Go to rutheckerdhall.com to get tickets and go see the great Colin Quinn. We got to go because now we're super late. Carmen, thank you.
No problem.
All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Check us on Instagram at the Mike Calta Show. And tomorrow at 10 o'clock, tickets for the Calta Christmas Extravaganza go on sale.
What?
With the lovely Len Koplitz.
Whoa.
You can't go wrong with that.
She's hilarious.
She's the best.
Oh, my God, is she great.
She has told more of you guys to shut your face in the studio than ever.
Funny.
Not afraid of anybody. She's the best.
Really funny.
Have a great day. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.